there started being clues put in by the developers about sharks until it got to the point where if you would do these X amount of things in a row and then go to this one, like you had to kill like 3 birds with a melee, and then you had to go to one specific spot and shoot a tiny light. A gigantic, massive fucking megalodon would jump out of the water and land, and if anyone was below the megalodon, it automatically kill them. It would jump over the giant crashed aircraft carrier.
That's one game I wish I would have played more. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm Nick.
I'm Tyler.
Oh shit, we don't even have like mics set in front of individuals.
Yeah, we used to actually care about this podcast. We used to do like sound checks.
Yeah, really all we do is we come here and
something just went off.
You know what prevented that?
No, shit. Wait. What the shit? Oh, that got unplugged. Okay.
What was it?
Find out that the soundboard was plugged into the wall.
No, it was on.
It was on, and then
It was on, and then something happened and it got unplugged.
Okay, clearly it's not working. We're not letting this go.
Wait, can you hear us now? Yay. Tennessee.
Jesus. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast again. I'm Nick.
I'm Tyler.
I'm the fucking brother. I'm still Shannon.
I'm the brother.
Tyler, talk real quick for a second.
Hello?
Okay, yeah. So everybody's in. Everybody's on.
Penis.
Think we're good? Maybe, yes. I still hate Destiny. I don't care what anyone else says, but I might be on the Destiny app right now.
Who am I, guys?
Who
Want to go to the beach?
Somebody's
Beach?
either set to off.
Am I off?
Joe is off.
Nikki
It probably
having a
is
job.
fine because I'm
Now we have
probably
all.
still like.
Boy, Corey, can you bring Joe down a little bit? He's
Which
the
one?
I'm right over
closest
here.
to you. Just bring it down even with the one next to him.
Click. Hello.
That works. That works.
So can I say the
Hello.
one thing? I really want to say this. This is the only thing. Like this is the one thing. If we talk about Destiny, the one thing I have to say, I finally got Coral Rabbit back.
He was so excited.
He's been so.
I don't even remember what Coral Rabbit is.
It's a
Transmat effect.
Oh, yeah,
Transmat,
I remember.
Yeah.
So I had this like a week into Destiny. I got a ship that had this on it, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And then I was like, oh, well, I don't like the ship that it's on, so I'm going to go through and put another transmat effect in there, and it'll pop this one out and give it back to
Negative
me. And
Ghost Reader.
it just went away, and then I've literally spent the last year and a half trying to get it back, and it's on sale at the Eververse for 250 Bright Dust.
Oh, I was going to say,
150
he dropped 1,000 silver on like a fucking Coral Rabbit.
Right. No. Although I will say, I dropped a bit of money last night.
Yeah, you did.
I got
You were telling us about that.
Happy Feet.
Got
You
that
did get
one.
Happy Feet?
Yeah, when
I
I
got
got
showing
Happy
through. I
Feet.
was like, that is the
I got
greatest fucking shit.
Happy Feet and Flare Gun. I was doing Vex Offensive yesterday, and
Flare gun? I didn't see that.
the team that I was playing
Pop
with,
gun out and go. I don't see it at all.
but I was playing with a team that did not know where to go. And so I would run to the next point, and instead of starting it, I would stand there and I'd just launch flares over and over and over again. And then when
Yeah,
they'd
just
all
flare.
finally get right next to me, I'd just start doing Happy Feet and just dancing until somebody activated the event.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
That is
So-
hilarious.
I'm going to talk about something that might be foreign to everybody.
Uh-oh.
It was really weird timing.
I'm just going to say now I'm making sure all my shit's
Are you
off.
ready for this?
Yes.
I am kicking so much ass in fantasy football.
Why?
Did you
I'm in
watch the
second
league?
place.
What's the name of
on
your
my
team? What's the name of your team?
Brothor. ESPN has a variety of different sponsors, and one of them is Avengers.
Okay.
So, team info. I'm Brothor with a Thor face.
I like it.
Yeah. And I'm currently second place in my half. We have a 14-man league. And I just thought I'd share with you that this week I'm probably going to lose. I just opened it, so it reminded me of it.
I want to ask you a question to like help like keep the conversation going, and I know nothing about any of this.
It's football. They throw balls.
Well, no, but like I don't know how it works. Like, don't you like put your own team together of like
Yeah,
players
so
from
you-
like different teams?
You
So, like,
draft.
how do you score?
So the scoring is
So
done.
how they play, they get X amount of points.
When the
So-
quarterback throws a pass for 40 yards, you get 0.1 point for every yard for the pass.
Yep.
So you get 4 points.
So this is my question. So you have I don't know players. Peyton
So
Manning's the
you
last
have
player I
you have
remember.
quarterback, you have running back, you have tight
Well, no, I'm trying to
end.
think of a player's name and what team they're on.
Patrick Mahomes, quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, so he does
Fuck Mahomes, by
shit.
the way.
He plays
He's
like
on my
shit.
team.
But what team does he play for?
Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Kansas City wins. You don't get any points for that.
You get
Other
points
other
based
team
on
members.
his individual
That's what I'm
performance.
saying. So like,
If
the
you have other
team
people in
doesn't win.
Kansas City.
But then I have a like
Well, yeah. So,
so
you got like 3
so,
people in
look.
Kansas City. The other 2 could do good, but like it's not based off of
Mine's
the
open
team.
too.
Look, so I've got these are all the players on my team, right? This is what they're projected to do for their game coming up.
Gotcha.
And then if I go, let's go back to
Mixing it up a bit.
schedule.
Bit of sports. Yeah, sports.
So like this
Sports
one,
go sports.
so like you can see the scores that they got that day.
Go
And
team, yeah.
so for like Mahomes, he completed 30 passes, so he got 30 points. He had 443 passing yards, so he got 44 points.
Move the decimal.
And so
Let's see how that came out.
he got 100 points on the day. Running back got 12.7 for 47 rushing yards, 40 receiving and receptions. And then depending on how everyone on your team scores, it tallies up to a total against who you're playing. And
So how does it do who you're playing? Like is it just
It's-
is it against another player?
me and 12
Yes.
me and 12 coworkers are in
Yeah.
we're all in a league together. And
Okay.
we build teams and then we play against each other. And then
Sadly
next week
enough,
I'll
I know
play someone
all of
else.
this from watching the league.
I was gonna say, see, I thought it
Yeah.
was like a bracket thing of like.
No,
Nah,
I
really.
mean, you can go to like.
Once you get into like the
Yeah, but see, like, who gets the
Playoffs.
Sacco?
I don't know. Unless Zach puts one together, I doubt there'll be a Sacco.
Oh, wait, Zach's doing it? Maybe,
He's the commissioner.
Maybe you will end up with some kind of like hazing ritual for the person.
I know that's what scares the shit out of me. Apparently, I'm playing him this week coming up. But you know who's in absolute first place over everyone? My dad. He has not traded with a single fucking person. I don't even think he's
Collusion.
picked up someone. It's amazing. I don't know.
So you
I don't know
pick
who
who
he
you're playing
does.
against? That's cool.
Well, no,
You don't pick who you're playing against, you pick your players.
No, I'm sorry. What am I trying to say?
So like, look, I
because you
have,
said this is an ESPN thing, right? You
I
said
have-
ESPN.
So I have
Yeah.
a player from the New York Giants. I
Yeah.
have a player from Arizona. I
So,
have-
like,
you
the
pick
league
your
that he's
players.
in, they
What
got
I'm asking
12
is,
people
like,
together.
Who are you playing
Oh,
against?
okay. For that,
Is that
So
like
we
something
have-
ESPN sets, or do you set
no,
that?
no, you have your own personal
See,
league.
Okay.
Here's the schedule.
Okay.
Like these are the games I've already played this year, and then these are the games that I
Yeah,
have
but these
yet
are
to play.
people you know. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
playing against people you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all people
Yeah,
from
like-
work.
So
That's my
is it
brother.
just is
Someone-
this
someone-
just for fun?
Yes.
Or, okay, because I was gonna say I know
We
some leagues
do-
win like
We did
That's
shit
buy-ins.
tons
like
of money.
DraftKings.
We did
and
buy-ins.
there's
Okay.
buy-ins
For
and
us, it was
stuff.
a $50 buy-in.
okay.
So $50 amongst 12 people.
Yeah.
Third
ton of
place,
money.
third place gets their money back. Second place doubles. First place gets the rest.
That's not bad.
So first place at the end of the year is going to get $450.
Okay, so got an idea. Let's do this podcast group, but instead of football, Full Metal Jousting.
There's no actual
I'm just joking.
thing for Full Metal Jousting.
Also,
Although,
we could, but we need more than like just the
I
five
was
of us.
just joking anyway.
well, but
What
Yeah,
about a
she
video
said
game?
Choose a video game.
well, yeah.
Overwatch has fantasy.
I was gonna say
Really?
there's
Overwatch
Overwatch
has
Fantasy and Overwatch League, or not Overwatch Fantasy League.
I don't even know if my boy's still playing.
I'm not playing anymore.
Shit, what was my guy's name? I haven't
got
watched
it.
in like a
I got
year.
you.
There's one player I
It's
fucking
Spitfire,
loved. He
right?
was the dude that won
No
MVP last year.
He like
Jonak.
last year.
Yeah, Jonak.
No.
Yes.
No.
League
I
MVP.
promise you're not right.
League MVP for last year was Jonak.
I promise you're not correct.
Did he get the Sacco?
Fight.
Unless it's been 2 years since I've watched. The year that London Spitfire won, one of their players, and I can't remember his name right now. But that was not it. Unless we're talking about two different awards. But he's the one that got the special like trophy that has like things coming out of it that they awarded to MVP of the league.
This argument brought to you by
Okay,
YouTube.
so the
Fuck you.
MVP of the league was Jonak. The
Yeah.
MVP for the playoff game was Profit.
That's his name. Okay, so then what's
Nothing.
Jonak Profit.
gotcha?
Jonak the Barbarian.
Yeah, because that's what it said. It was team
Step
it was
one,
team
Jonak. Step two, step
Barbarian.
three, Profit.
Barbarian.
I don't get it, but what's step two? The cart falls and kills Kenny. He's like, "Holy shit, your friend just died." Yeah, you killed Kenny.
So
but seriously, what's
personally,
step two?
some of my favorite parts of playing with you is the fact that I can hear all of the South Park in the background. every bit of it. And somehow you get 30 kills in a game, and I'm like, it's got to be South Park.
Dude, what's so insane? First of all, so for anyone watching, I don't. Do we even have anyone watching? I find it funny that
I was gonna say one concurrent viewer.
that's
so,
Corey.
Corey.
Yeah,
No one's used to us playing in the 9:30. Like we're gonna. Have to
I
get
know.
everyone
Well,
else on the
so I
schedule.
posted stuff in a couple different Discords, and I posted stuff on Facebook.
Literally, like the two people that normally watch are gonna be like, I'm not off at 7:30. No, but the fact that
Yeah.
when we play D&D, if I play on my Switch, I am more attentive to the game than I am without having a Switch because
Yeah.
it keeps me focused. But I feel bad every time I'm playing on like I'll be playing Destiny with you guys, and I'm like going, and I'm like, oh, this is so good, and I'm listening to the show in the background, and I'm going, I'm playing, and then like, fucking, what was it? Who was it the other day?
I think it was me and you.
Yeah, it was you, but it was somebody talked, and you were just like, oh, that's and you recognized the voice. I
No,
can't remember
you
what
were
I was
listening.
watching.
You were listening to South Park, and I was like, I hear the sounds of South Park in the background, but for some reason, the only
Was it
times
Cartman?
that it comes over the mic is when it's fucking Cartman.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking like I have it down far enough so it's not gonna bother you guys. So I'm sitting there playing, and all of a sudden like Cartman was like, "Hey, fuck you," and Tyler's like, "Fucking Cartman." It's like, oh, apparently he can hear it. So I'm like turning it down because I'm like I'm afraid you guys are gonna get mad at me.
No, it's not that bad.
God
damn it, everybody!
I was telling Scott about that because I think he left at the last D&D session before you had your Switch out.
No, I had it the whole time.
Well,
You didn't notice
yeah,
it until the
before
last like
I
hour.
noticed or anything, and I was just like, so what we should just maybe do is take everyone's phones and just give them all to Joe.
Oh,
So
everyone's
he's
phone.
like, yeah, I'm gonna roll this too.
I'll be
I'm gonna
playing.
be doing this.
I'll be playing for all of you. Okay, Castiel goes in and does this. Wait, what? No, that's me. No, fuck you.
Fuck you! I got your
No,
character
it's
sheet sitting
so
in front
funny.
of
The greatest part of it, though, seriously, is so who sits.
I usually sit to the right of you.
That's what. So yeah, you sit to the right of
Yeah.
me. Okay, so we're playing. We actually sit somewhere. No, you sit over there.
No, I sit across from you.
Okay, so but we're sitting there and I'm playing.
Everyone has their own spots on
me.
the-
Basically,
But I've got
yeah.
I've got it down here, and the whole time I'm like, I can't let Corey know I have this
I
because
just
he's
keep
gonna
staring at
take
you. And
it.
I'm like,
But I'm sitting there playing because I just got Link's Awakening. So I'm sitting there playing it, and I was like, I can't let Corey know. I can't let Corey know. And finally he goes, okay, I have to ask, what are you looking at? You've been looking under the table this whole time. I was like, oh, I have my Switch. And he was like, do I need to take it from you? And then fucking Shannon's like,
Well-
actually, he's been playing more tentative this
And, like,
session than any
I
other
thought
session.
back to that whole session. I was like, oh shit, he's right.
I don't know why having something else to do.
like
keeps
Adrian
me
said,
focused.
like Nick when he was different Nick
Yeah.
Falconing.
I was
uh,
assuming you weren't talking about yourself in
yeah,
third
I
person.
thought we're all of a sudden going third person.
Yeah,
with our lines.
obviously.
No, when
Shannon went
we
to the
play
store today.
7C, and when we played what's the White Wolf game?
Witcher.
No,
you wouldn't know that.
Vampire the Masquerade. When we were playing like Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Reckoning.
Does Vampire have a Y in it?
No,
Not this one.
not yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, whenever we would play that stuff, like he would sit there and play World of Warcraft while we were doing tabletop gaming, and he paid more attention when he had World of Warcraft on his laptop than when he was just sitting there
I
playing.
just don't know.
I can't do that.
What I don't understand
I
is
can't even have music playing when I'm playing games,
I can't
or I
even.
lose focus.
I do not understand
If I'm playing
how
Rocket
you
League.
guys don't.
So Rocket League is
Depends on what
Rocket League's
activity
the
I'm
one that
doing.
makes sense.
If I'm doing something that I need to be focused for, like Crucible or raids or strikes or something like that, I can't have anything else. If I'm okay, hey, I want to go do this exotic quest that requires me to get 600 fallen kills with a bow on
Yeah,
the
then
surface
you're
of
running-
Nessus,
Yeah, you're running around.
and I'm
in
literally
circles.
just running
Yeah.
laps, like what I've been doing for Sleeper to get all the Sleeper nodes completed. Like I literally had to run the same lost sector just over and over
Yep.
and over, and so I put Netflix on. But that's the only time I can.
So-
I can't
so
even do it when I'm playing World of Warcraft.
That's kind of how I so if I'm doing something where like if I'm just running strikes to run strikes, or if I'm just like whatever, in that case I will like turn on, like recently I've been watching Superstore, and
That is so good.
I will just
You got
have
me watching
Superstore
that.
like so like I'll be playing and I'm looking at my screen, but then like on my phone down here propped up I have Superstore going and I have it hooked into my headset and I'm listening to that. But
You all got ADD. Like,
But-
I
but-
can't.
crazy
but-
shit.
if I'm doing something where like I want to like focus or something like that, like Crucible or Gambit or something like that, I will usually have some form of like fast, high energy metal or EDM playing.
Nope.
I am so bad. I bought an Apple TV to hook up to my second TV in my room. And first of all, I need a second TV in my room. So that when I'm using one TV for games, I still have Netflix. I watched the first season of Big Mouth while clearing Ori and the Blind Forest for the first time. Like, I was playing Ori and I was like, wow, this story is great. The music is beautiful, but I really wish I had something else going right now. So I literally watched the entire first season of Big Mouth and cleared that game.
How do you remember anything?
I don't know. My brain, like,
Do your eyes
no.
start to split?
Here's the thing,
no,
though.
I will say most of it.
Pennywise?
Most of it is I'm only catching the audio, so I'm not getting like sight gags and stuff.
Yeah.
However, with that said, when we were growing up, the majority of like when we would go to bed and stuff, we weren't allowed to have TVs in our room at our dad's house. So
Sorry,
Jesus, scared
that's
the
me.
fuck out of
Oh
me.
my
It's
God.
my podcast alarm. Go on.
Wake up, get to Nick's.
What was I saying? That just derailed me. This is I need another TV so I can focus.
We
on this
weren't allowed to
podcast.
have TVs in the bedroom.
Oh yes, no. So like we would grow up, like everything we would do is we would just like throw on like audiobooks and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm used to just listening to audio of stuff and just going.
That's another thing. I've also like if I'm doing like strikes or something like that where I'm mindlessly just running and I'm like I got to do 4 strikes, but I've
So
already
how
done
about
all
at
these,
work?
so I can't at work.
I listen
they,
to
they
pod-
won't let me.
Yeah, he's not allowed.
But as soon as I've done last call and there's not a single fucking person at that bar, absolutely I have either Critical Role or music or
So
something.
I'll
playing.
have music playing. I tried Critical Role. I just tried to stream it through the computer, which it worked and everything. I had
Yeah.
it going. I went 5 minutes and realized I didn't hear a single fucking word that was said in the entire thing. And I was like, nope.
So
Just turn Brain Food back on.
I do the same thing. I listen to Critical Role at work, like when I'm down in the office doing paperwork. But I've noticed if I'm doing anything, like if I'm reading emails, responding to emails, placing orders, things like that, I can't have Critical Role because I won't pay attention to it. But if I'm just sitting there and I'm coming up with specials or I'm working on the schedule or things like that where I'm not having to actually like physically type words,
Yeah.
I can listen to it and be perfectly fine.
Uh.
As soon as I do anything email related or where I need to
So,
compose a message,
I'm responsible for
music.
my entire building and what work we do. So it
Too much
scares
risk.
me. Yeah.
I listen to Critical Role, but the second it gets to the point where the manager starts talking to me or the other bartender or somebody starts talking to me, I can't focus on a conversation while listening to Critical Role. So at that point in time, I usually turn on like music or something.
See, where I get away with that is I have AirPods and I literally have everything synced to my watch. So like I will just pause, talk to a customer,
You're the
okay,
general
play,
manager, right?
and then keep going through.
You're like a general manager. So are people allowed to listen to music at your work
Basically, do you let
environment?
people listen to music or are you a douchebag?
Yeah.
You're a douchebag. Just kidding. Sorry, Nick.
Come in and out all the time. You gotta talk to people.
See, I was sitting around and I actually got mad at a coworker one time because they walked up for like the 3rd time that day and had a question about their phone, and I was just like, I don't know, like you'll just have to Google it. And they just kept coming up and were like, how do I do this on my phone? How do I do this? How do I do this? And finally I was like, what do you want? And they were like, you seem stressed. And like, are you mad at me? And I was like, no, I'm trying to figure out, Harry's trying to get into the Chamber of Secrets right now and you keep interrupting me.
I forgot what I was gonna say. My brain went to Harry Potter. So like, that's all I'm currently thinking about is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Oh no! So I have a couple people at work that will ask questions like that. A lot of like Matt, which he's going to the Halloween party as well, by the way. He asks a ton of technological questions, and some of them are so out of left field. Like, what audio codec is best used for this specific stream mixer? And I'm like, bro, I don't know, fucking Google it. And there was something he asked me that was like, I had no idea. And I was like, I'll have to Google it. He's like, can you do that real quick? And I went to the website that is, let me Google that for you. Have you ever gone to that? Where
No.
it literally comes up with the Google page, zooms in on it, types out what you searched, and then like has a little search button that says click here, like with arrows, and you click it, and it goes to the Google search page of what you typed in.
That's why I don't understand. Like, people come to me all the time, and I'm like, yeah, just Google it. And they're like, oh, cool, you're going to do that for me? I was like, you have a fucking phone. Do it your damn self. Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's just funny to me how That's apparently like still a mystery. It's just Google something.
That's why I get so mad when like I'll be in the car with like my parents or something, and they'll be sitting there and they're like, "Oh yeah, like who isn't like," and it'll be some stupid like who's in that movie or whatever, and it's like, "Oh, I don't know, what I don't remember who was it. This no, it wasn't. Was it? I just don't remember. And, this is killing me. It's driving me crazy." I'm like, someone just fucking Google it. I was like, if we only had fucking computers sitting in our pockets that could tell us this answer.
Although the most annoying thing is I still have some people I know that like it's like, God, I need to Google this.
God, just Bing it.
Google.com.
Ugh.
Go.
Ugh.
And then it loads. And then I'm like,
Just type it
you
in the address
fucking
bar.
time waste.
I had somebody. I have no idea what happened the other day.
My opinion, like, I wish I joined in on this because I would have had something to add to everything. I'm used to you guys actually talking about games. You're
So
talking about
Destiny
shit
2.
that I have opinions on. ADD.
I beat Mr. Shifty.
Oh, did
I don't
you?
know what that is. See, when
Did
you
you
get into
really?
the actual
It's a
game,
video
I have
game.
no idea
Yeah.
what's going on.
I'm not being a smartass.
No,
Like,
I
I
really
actually
do.
really want to play that. Is it
Yeah.
good?
It's
Wow.
great.
You're
I
basically
love this
Nightcrawler.
I don't know. Sounds pretty shifty to me.
He is.
Is that Devolver?
No, but it plays like Hotline Miami.
That,
It's the
okay,
same
it is.
gameplay as Hotline Miami, but it's not a Devolver game.
There were so many cool moments when literally a guy would turn around with a shotgun, and as the bullets are coming, I'm like bamf behind him, punch him a couple
I
times.
didn't
and
even
bamf
say
behind
Vamp
someone else.
behind him.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I know.
It even
Like,
has the same like smoke effect from like any X-Men game.
at the end, it literally says like, inspired by Marvel Comics.
It should.
Special thanks to Stanley and Jack Kirby.
It's also very self-aware. Like the main villain you're going against is like, I found your weakness. 10-foot walls, and like you it's top down, so you can see the walls in the rooms, and so this wall is double what a regular wall is that you could like teleport through. So you just blow up the wall and then you teleport through it. This is goofy shit.
I will say that was one because you get like was it like 6 levels in, and then there's like a big twist, and then
Is it really? Jordan's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
you get
No,
like
no.
Lemon
you
twist.
get like 5 levels in, 6 levels in, and there's a twist, and then like you keep playing after that, and then there's like another little twist
Corey's like, there was a story.
with
No, I mean there was a story, but it was a very self-aware
yeah,
story.
but it's still I don't know.
You're going against Evil Corp and
Yeah.
All I know is you
Incorporated.
go in and you walk in, and the first person walks up and goes, "Would you kindly come into my office? Would you kindly go down to the basement?"
I mean, I guess
Are we
there's
ever gonna
sort
play
of
Bioshock
this.
Infinite? I am fucking getting tired of waiting for you to play this game.
Well, we were
You finally
supposed
finished one.
I finished 1, and then we were supposed to play Borderlands and Borderlands 2 before Borderlands 3 came out. Borderlands 3 came out. Who finished 1, 2, or has even started playing 3 besides Shannon?
So who got tired of Borderlands?
You
because
played 1,
Borderlands 3 is
2, and
awful?
or started
Who
playing
already
3 in
bought-
the last month.
I've started playing 3 already.
I've heard nothing.
So
positive
this
I'm
about
is-
like
game.
I finished 1 and I'm like level 30 something in 2.
So this is how self-aware I am. How many of us here have bought Borderlands 3?
No, paid for.
No,
Put your fucking hand down.
I own it. I was gonna say mine went up a little bit higher on that one.
So you guys you don't own it?
I don't own it.
Oh, all right. Never mind. I'm not the only self-aware person that knows I would never fucking play that game.
Yeah.
What?
Here's the thing.
I hate to say it. I
play Destiny with all you guys,
Yeah.
but then at the end of the week, when I've completed all my powerfuls and I have nothing left to do in Destiny and nobody else is online, then I play Borderlands,
Okay,
which
but
is really, really unfortunate because here in like 2 weeks, Outer Worlds comes out, and then I'm gonna have another game that I'm gonna buy. And
you know what else
never
comes
play.
out soon? Red Dead.
I don't care.
That's
about
all
Red
Corey
Dead.
cares about now.
I do want
You
to play
saw
Red
that
Dead. No,
in
I still love playing Destiny and everything, but when Red Dead comes out, I'm gonna sink into that game.
So not only do I have to
don't
buy
care
that
about
game,
at
Really?
all. Truly don't
not
care.
only do I have to buy Red Dead Redemption 2, I have to lie about it to my coworkers because there's 3 coworkers that are like, "Oh, I can't wait for you to buy it. Like, we're gonna play it all on Xbox." I'm like, "Yeah, totally."
I'm so glad I waited.
Winky, winky.
I mean, I bought it on Xbox. Morgan played the shit out of that game
I
because
ain't
she
mad at
loves
Morgan,
games.
by
She
the way.
loves games like that. But
I like him too.
I
It's mostly just the realistic factor. Everything I've seen that talks about the amount of systems that fucking Rockstar put in that game.
my thing is
Dude,
there's-
it's all those small
that,
things.
like Like it's
All
it's
This.
band videos.
but no, like all of the small minute details that you don't think would matter are what makes that game so amazing.
And you know what?
Like the fact that your horse's testicles like shrink up when it gets cold out is just like an extra little detail that you're like, why the fuck would they put that in the game? But then as you're playing the game, you're like, okay, that's kind of cool.
See, like I'll never forget the whole Star Citizen thing. The first small
that going
detail. I mean, it's pretty awesome. They added in the
If only
like.
they'd release it.
Well, they have the whole Coruscant planet in now.
Did it actually come out?
Yeah,
I knew it was all like
huh?
Croissant Planet?
Coruscant planet.
it's French.
Oh.
When we
finally
got to chorus.
But no, one of the first things they did is when they just had the hangar, they didn't have the free fly module in yet. You could walk in and out of your ships. And
Yeah.
a game is a lot about small things. I remember Mr. Cabbage is sending me a video of his guy walking up the ramp to a ship, but the ramp goes under the ship, right? So you have to duck. Otherwise, it would just clip through. And your guy literally, you see, put his hand out and duck in, and it's fluid. Like it's not an animation. He literally just kind of ducks in. And it's like, ah,
And it only
Oh,
cost
Makes it feel more
it
real.
only
Yeah.
cost $1.2 billion to make that animation happen.
oh, is that much?
Sorry, 700 million.
What
are they up to now?
My thing with
Like
my thing with
80,
Red
99
Dead is
It's more than 89 million.
It's what I was last at a couple months ago.
There's no fucking way.
I tried playing it. And I get that it's
I do need to play
it's
it.
cowboys and all
Oh,
that.
I
It's
see.
cowboys, old times, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Oh, you're talking about Red Dead.
That game,
Oh, I thought
that
we were on
game
Star
for
Citizen.
me, just it's so slow.
Oh, see, I disagree.
That's my concern. I'm
I-
afraid that's how I'm gonna.
The very first
cannot-
Red Dead Redemption, I say very first, even though it's not technically the
Oh, yeah.
Red
Well,
Dead
Don't get
Revolver.
me started on
But you
that.
said you said first Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. The story was, in my opinion, one of the best Rockstar stories they've ever
I
created.
am mad that got ruined for me in a YouTube video.
I understand.
I was pissed.
Okay.
I mean, I watched the video.
Okay.
I should have known, if something was going to get spoiled, but I was
Right.
mad about that.
Okay.
I
Estimation.
say 200 million.
Joe says 200 million. Who?
I feel like I'm
Who
low.
else has an
At
estimate?
this point,
I-
I would say between
I don't trust
90
Corey.
95.
I don't trust that.
90 to 95
You're
million.
wrong.
How much money do you think Star Citizen has raised?
You're gonna be like
Over their total campaign,
Current,
Citizen
up to
Fall.
now, current.
I'd say
Wait,
probably.
is this just counting their main campaign, or is this counting the multiple campaigns they've?
I'm counting all of Star Citizen.
All of Star Citizen has raised how much money?
They've had
I feel like I aimed low. I want to say
They have-
250.
a Kickstarter. No,
Let's raise
because
it
they
to
haven't
250.
gotten as much as a AAA title has yet.
We'll find out.
I don't know. I'd say 125 mil.
the last back
125.
thing. I'm gonna stick with my 90 to 95.
I don't know.
90
Last
to
I heard,
95.
Jeff Bezos put like a shit ton of money to this game.
Well, they are using Amazon Engine now.
Are they really?
Yes.
No shit. He really
They
did that.
changed it from Crisis because they couldn't. It was so hard to try and code a 3D universe.
And the
'Cause Crysis is
Crytek
just
engine.
like
169 million.
The Crytek engine. is,
169.
Really
And
nice.
you were saying how much? 200.
I'm going with 250.
250.
I still feel like
I want to say
238,145,294.
over. So I would have been right with 200 million. I would have been right at it. I would have been close with that going over.
200.
So
138
that's
million.
counting
But instead,
all
I
of
don't get
the-
any of the
At-
showcases.
Star Citizen's current live stats as to funds raised and total number of people that have funded it
Yeah.
is 2.3 million people.
But how many people
And
like
this is actually
Skylar
Robert
funded
Space
it and
Industries.
then asked
This
for
is
a
a-
refund?
They're pretty.
Wasn't it Skylar that
pretty
asked for a refund?
transparent. No,
Who was it that asked for a refund?
I know Skylar didn't. I know it was a big news thing where some guy tried to bash the company for a super long time. Then turned out he was just super pissed because he was trying to make his own space
I do remember
simulation game, and
He was making the Firefly game, and we all know how that turned out.
yeah,
I was gonna say something though back on
Red Dead.
I can't remember what it was. Was it about Red Dead though? It was about
The big thing
Borderlands.
for me, one of the things I've seen in Red Dead is that you can fan fire depending on the gun, or you can aim. I like revolvers; they're cool. That's one of the reasons why I love Last Word. Yeah,
Speaking of which, I gotta go do the mission on Titan for that.
I wish Last Word was more viable. And so my issue, I think I have with Destiny that I've discovered, and I know they're trying to fix it by buffing hand cannons, but hand cannons PvE wise are like poopy.
Yes, but PvP.
Yeah.
They're
But
broken
in-
as shit.
Right, but in Destiny 1, a hand cannon was just as viable as an auto rifle. They had better balance in Destiny 1, at least from what I remember, where I could run in with Thorn into a PvE scenario and do almost as much damage as someone who's running a auto rifle or a pulse rifle. The only underpowered weapon variant in Destiny 1 that I truly remember was, I think, scout rifles. And that was unless you had Might multi-tool.
I will say, specifically from a
talk about
PvE
something
standpoint,
about Destiny.
granted, it's not, I guess, as much DPS it seems like, but Crimson is really viable from the
What was
standpoint
Crimson? I
of
remember that.
3-round
Scout?
hand cannon.
Was it? Oh, it's a hand cannon.
3-round burst hand cannon, 3-round burst.
That sounds
Brah,
gross.
brah, 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 brah. But
This might shock you. It is. It's. He loves it.
because on kill you
That's what the
you
squirrels
heal,
in the trees use.
and on precision kills it reloads automatically.
So basically, for Nick, he spends the whole clip body shotting and gets super lucky and gets that headshot and it refills his magazine, and he restores all of his health that he just lost from fighting the one dude.
Got it.
I love you.
I
I'm really
hate
like.
burst.
Like Crimson is useful in certain PvE scenarios, like with the in the Shattered Throne.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, that was
That's what I
so
want
much
to talk
fun.
about. I know. I was.
Shattered Throne.
I want to talk
and,
about that. I have
I know
things
there's
to
a
say.
bunch of
Gambits.
raw.
Gambits.
But-
It's pretty good.
In my opinion,
Borealis.
each gun should have its own version of amount of damage. So like a pulse rifle, a full pulse rifle burst should be able to kill an acolyte, hive acolyte. A lot of them don't. A single hand cannon shot should be able to kill an acolyte. So like a Crimson,
A single hand cannon shot?
yeah,
You're talking headshots, right?
Aren't the
headshot, of
acolytes
course.
the
Yes.
knights?
No,
No.
that's a knight.
That's a knight.
Acolytes are the snipers. Or no,
they're
not the
in
snipers.
here.
That's,
They
yeah,
are
yeah,
technically the snipers, but because there are acolyte snipers,
yeah.
but they're like the ones that just run around with the basic shots.
Oh, okay.
Like if a hand cannon, like one shot hits an acolyte in the head, it does 90% damage. No, it's garbage in my opinion.
Okay.
So a Crimson, I think Crimson a single burst can kill an acolyte, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
If you can
When you
get,
say
if you
single
can get,
burst
if
as
you
in
can get
blah, blah, blah.
two body, one half,
Not like-
two body, one head, you'll kill him,
Okay.
Yeah. Or all three.
or
head
all
you
three
kill.
head.
Right, which makes sense. But like there are scout rifles out there that I view are the exact same when it comes to PvE. I don't know why an acolyte is that form, but like an acolyte's health, in my opinion, is the same as a regular Cabal's
Legionnaire,
Legionnaire. It's the same as a fallen Vandal. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any of the Taken Vandals, really a lot of those kind of fluctuate. I know the Taken kind of are unique, so that makes sense. Same as a Vex Goblin. Like all those should theoretically do the same amount as is a precision hit. It just matters on where you shoot them.
What are the Vex like squids that like fly through the air?
Hydras.
Hydras.
Those are
no,
so
No,
cool.
harpies.
No.
Harpies.
Oh, yeah.
Harpies, those are so cool.
I said the Hydras are cool.
Wait till I have a feather duster.
No, I do want to talk about Shattered Throne though.
Go on.
Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So was it just the three of us?
Yes.
Oh my god. So the three of us cleared Shattered Throne. That fucking thing is so much fun.
You would have laughed, Tyler.
That is a
Why?
oh, we
It
were
was-
Nick and I were so bad.
Dude,
It was like
Jabino
Your
boss-
back
no,
still hurt.
It was literally Corey. Okay, so Nick, Joe, what you guys want to do? Oh, they're fucking dead. Okay, hold on.
Let me try to
Nick
pull
was
this one
doing
out of my
good-
ass.
Nick was doing, at one point, I backed up and I watched Nick jump around, and they were like all the blasts from at the very end from all the science were missing, and he was just like, like all the bullets were flying around. So I'm like, all right, Nick, Joe, I finally had to switch to Recluse because we weren't doing enough damage. So I was like, Nick, Joe, you go kill all the ads on your side. I'll go to this side and kill them all. I'm like, done. How you guys doing? They're like, we got them all. And there's like 8 on the outside that are just standing there shooting at them. Joe's like, I think we got them all.
He's like, turn around. I'm like, oh. There was also one spot though. So we cleared the first area, the labyrinth. Is what it was
Yes.
called? Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Cleared the labyrinth, and it opens up the big thing. And we jump. Nick goes, okay, we're supposed to jump down, and we jump down, and we're falling, and as we're falling, Corey goes, okay, so where are we supposed to get these orbs? And Nick goes, oh, those were back up there.
Well, because
trying to
he's-
do Wish
he's so-
Ender.
so he hasn't got.
I have the
So,
coins for wishing.
No,
But-
so you need to cleanse them.
Yeah.
You still need to do it.
I was gonna say I am like one step away from getting the coins.
You need
and
to
then
do
I
the
have
secret
do it.
mission.
So
Yeah.
I want to run it tonight, but all you guys are going to bed. I want to
And-
run
well,
it so bad.
but-
I
but-
want this bow so bad.
You're off tomorrow.
you're never
right?
going to use it, but yeah.
Yeah, you'll never use
Might.
it. The bow you have right now is better.
The bow,
Is it?
yeah,
Oh.
Witch Ender is trash. You only need it to get the lore items, to get the
Ah.
eggs.
Yeah, you're not
Which
going to
is
use
funny.
It
it.
has a cooler name though. No
We
turning back
did-
is
it's cool.
okay. But
We
wishing
did a
sounds cool.
strike, or I did a strike the other day, and it was the one where you have to get the artifact and throw them at the Cabal taken. You know what I'm talking about? As the elevator goes down,
Yeah.
and an egg fell out of the sky.
Hmm?
Out of nowhere, it just fell and rolled away. And I'm like, "What the fuck is that doing here?" And it just rolled off the edge and went away. I was
Those
like, "Okay."
those happen in every Forsaken strike that's available, and all the Forsaken Ascendant challenges and stuff have eggs in them. There's 40 or
What do
37.
you get if you get all?
A triumph,
Okay. So
and you need it.
nothing
You need
more.
it for Chronicler. Though.
All I know is everyone
Of
thinks
course
I'm
you do.
fucking crazy. But has anyone
do.
else found the fucking cat on the fucking level with the church in Crucible?
I know what he's talking about.
Did you hear it?
It's
Finally?
it's Widow's Court. It's one of the maps that they brought back in the rotation. I haven't heard it yet, but he swears
So-
in this one. So on the map in Iron Banner, you have A, B, and C points, right? Where C point is, it's a like demolished church, and every time he's in there, every time
It was in
was.
D1. They
Okay,
just brought it
actually-
in.
I actually know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Then.
He runs through it, and he's like, "There's that fucking cat again."
I'll be running and there's this one little area and I jump over it and every time I jump over it I hear meow and I'm like it literally sounds like that and I'm like that's not one of my cats. I was like what is this? They're like are you sure it's not your? And I was like Baymax is asleep on the fucking bed. It's not him. And they're like I don't know and I'm like okay whatever fine.
And then he
10
does it
minutes later
again.
I'm like, meow and I'm like what the fuck is? So there was one.
Although I will say,
Joe's going ape shit over. a random-
Joe's like, Baymax is asleep on the fucking bed. Ugh. 5 minutes later, Baymax, get off of the TV. Why are you climbing on the
that was
TV?
Fred. Fred did.
Fred was climbing on
Fred,
the TV. My
literally,
bad.
I'm in the middle of a firefight. There's like me and one other guy on my team, and then like 3 other guys on the enemy team, and then like Fred just jumps in front of the TV and is just standing there, not going in it. But I was like, get the fuck out of the way. But
That's
there
like
was
pay
literally-
attention to me.
Yeah.
now.
But there was literally one spot where I'm sitting there and I heard the meow and I was like, I'm gonna find this fucking cat. So I'm literally just walking around. I'm like, where's this cat? I'm looking in windows. I'm looking on ledges, and people are shooting me. And I'm just like,
And you
where's
just-
this cat?
You hear
And I was
me
like,
off
oh,
on the
fuck.
other side of the map. Don't worry, I got it. It's all right.
I was just like, oh,
I'll
fuck.
get the kills.
I forgot I'm playing a game.
So one of the things I do like about this expansion
I'm gonna
is
look it up. What's the name of that map?
Widow's Court.
they fixed the rotation for strikes. I've played 2 strikes I've never played before,
Yes.
and both of
Yes.
them were with him.
Yeah.
We're going through. He's like, I think I've done this before. We get to a spot. And there's taking orbs everywhere. And he's like,
It was
this is so
It was
fucking
on-
cool. Like, I see his character like aiming straight up as he's looking around.
yeah. What was it? Was that in the Pyramidion?
No, it wasn't Pyramidion. I don't remember. No, it was.
Not the strike the Pyramidion.
There are
It was-
cats in the map.
Oh, son of a bitch. He's not right. He's not wrong.
He feels so justified.
They just are hanging out in these fucking
Trucks.
trucks. Like I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
He's not fucking wrong.
I wasn't crazy. There's fucking cats. Don't shoot it.
Don't shoot it.
It's right before he's like, this fucking don't shoot it.
All I know is I'm watching. I'm like, oh, they're cute. They're just like sitting there like bathing or whatever. And then
It
all I
takes
got is
aim.
something I hear like. Fuck.
But yeah, no, the strikes we did were really fucking cool, and it
Yeah.
really bothered me that we hadn't done them before.
They intentionally came out and said that Iron Banner until tomorrow, late tomorrow, is intentionally set to be the new maps. It's only rotating the new maps. So Fragment, Twilight Gap, which comes back from D1, and Widow's Court, which
It's
comes back from D1.
Only going to cycle the new maps that are 8 years old.
Well,
And then
they're
after
good maps.
They really
after-
are. They really are. That fucking what's the? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
You're
off.
fine.
The Russian one with the snow.
Cosmodrome.
Twilight Gap.
Yeah, I fucking
Twilight Gap.
love that map.
Twilight Gap is one of
It's
those where I was
so
like,
good.
I have never fucking played on this map before.
Yeah, I was like,
And
yes,
the-
you have. I was like, I've played this map, and he was
Yeah.
like, how? This map just came out, and I was like, this is Destiny 1, and he was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The
This-
point, though,
I didn't
what
play
is
a
it,
whole
B?
lot of stuff, but
Is it
but
point B is in the elevator?
It's
Yeah, when you get on the lift
Oh.
area, and I was like, yeah, like I love that fucking map from D1. That was my favorite map from D1.
I really like.
There's a lot of like
Sorry.
scaffolding.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mainly like Point B because where it is, it's got
It's a good
it's got
position.
3 entryways to it, but the way the walls are aligned encircling the point, Recluse has ricochet rounds. So I literally just run towards it, and as soon as I'm like 10 feet out, it's just all right. We're just gonna empty the clip, and they're dead.
I really want to get Recluse so bad.
Good luck.
Actually,
Apparently, it's really fucking easy. Now.
grinding
I've
glory
heard.
is a lot easier now.
I'll say, yeah, I'm not gonna be OG.
Yeah.
Wait,
I-
who's glory?
it's
And why
on-
are we grinding?
it's
I already bitch. I already got it.
I still have fucking flashbacks to trying to grind glory
Oh,
and get it.
By
legitimately.
the way, I don't know about anybody here. Maybe you did it, but I was told to rub it in your guys' faces. My boss got his jacket ordered today.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
No, nobody here got it.
A guy. At
By
my-
the way, he did tell me I was right.
No, I was gonna say a guy at work literally. So he only ever played Apex and fucking it's some top down, not Diablo, but basically Diablo. It's
Path
been
of
out.
Exile.
Yeah,
I
I
saw the thing. I was trying to think
I
about
was
it.
literally like my brain. I saw the fucking logo and my brain
Yeah.
did not. I couldn't speak it
Yeah.
fast enough.
So yeah, no, Path of Exile. It's only played, and I kept going on and on about Destiny. I was like, "So you're gonna get Shadowkeeper when it comes out?" He goes, "I might." Fucking this motherfucker.
As the jacket.
Literally yesterday, he's just like, "So how much did you play over the weekend?" I was like, "I played, as much as I could, whatever." He's like, "Huh, beat the new raid already. I'm at 960." And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sitting at 942.
I think I'm at 917. I don't know.
I'm at 942. I've got my Titan up to 922, and I've
Yeah,
got my
917.
Hunter up to
I
like
asked him how I
910.
did it. He was just like, "Oh, dude, it was countless hours of grinding."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That sounds terrible."
Yeah.
I was like, "But he plays Path of Exile, so it makes sense."
That is so funny though. Speaking of Path of Exile,
923.
my manager was sitting around and was talking to me one day and was just like, dude, like he was talking about how he's getting into Path of Exile. I was like, it's a really fun game, but they were resetting. They have like seasonal, like I mean, how Destiny has seasons, but like it's you create a seasonal character, you run through the season.
like Diablo.
Okay, I've never done that, so I don't know. But I was gonna say, he was going through it and was all excited. He was like, dude, server resets at 5 a.m. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna pick a really cool name because like every name's taken right now and it wipes them all, so all the names are free again. He got up fucking 5 a.m. picked his name. I don't even know what the fuck it was. And he came into work and he was like, yeah, I got my name. I can't wait. I'm so excited to play it. Like a week later, I was like, how's Path of Exile? And he's like, I haven't even fucking touched it. I was like, what the fuck, dude? No, I was going to tell you. I did find out today. I got proof of it. You can play the raid before being 960 or whatever.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
no, it
can't
wasn't
do
960.
shit.
Yeah, because they're all.
That's
super
my manager
strong.
literally.
Recommended light is 940.
well, he was
I
saying,
know.
The
he was saying
boss.
you can't get in until you're 925. But what I was gonna say is because my manager got in, literally the final boss, he was immune. Like I was, like when we were doing Forsaken.
Yeah.
But his clan, he was like, guys, I really want this jacket. So they were like, oh, we're all 960, just come with us. So they just carried him through it.
Well, the boss himself
like, you didn't
spawns
earn
at
that
950.
But I was like, you did not earn that jacket, you fucker.
Yeah.
Boss himself spawns at 950.
I gotta be honest. Go ahead.
Explain the jacket. I'm the one who doesn't know.
So
It's not very cool.
So if you
I'ma
beat
say that.
if you beat the raid before the second server reset, then you
Which
have
was
the
last Tuesday.
ability to unlock, or you
can
basically
purchase a raid jacket.
yes.
It's just a regular looking jacket, but on the inside,
Was that one? Yeah, that's all.
it has the pattern of a Vex.
Oh, wait, this
That's
is
Crown
right.
of Sorrow.
Okay.
That was the last raid jacket. But that's the concept, and you can get like your gamer tag down one side and your clan
Oh,
tag down
this
the
one
other side.
fucking. Oh, this is the one you guys got.
Yeah.
Not got, but the one.
So
you're
yeah,
going.
it's this
I
one
just-
right.
Which
I don't know, man. That's pretty fucking
Cool.
cool. If you have your
Although I
games
would
out,
really,
like
I
that.
would really like a jacket that says corn taco down one side,
that-
and then
that's-
the other sleeve just says tiny box of raisins.
yeah,
By the way, thanks for all inviting me to your guys' clan. That's okay.
you're already part of the clan.
No, I'm not. I'm part
We tried
of...
to invite you back when you first started playing, and you were like, "No, I want to stay in Merlin." Thanks.
No, I didn't. You guys created the raisin thing, and I literally
We did not create it.
Or whatever.
He joined.
My point is, I was literally no. I remember because I literally sat there and I was like, if they ask me, I'll join.
were
I
in a
said, but
clan last
I
checked.
I am. But my point was, I was gonna leave and join your guys' clan. But
We
I
asked,
sat
and you were like,
hold
"No, I
on.
wanna stay."
I said, if they ask, I said I'm gonna go ahead and join them. But I said I don't want to ask. I don't want to be the one to ask. I said that's just rude.
So
I never asked. And then now I'm like, fuck you
I-
people. It's been a week.
I'll be honest. When we last played together, I realized at one point I was like, oh, he's in a different clan. I guess he'll just stay in that clan then. Because he's like he didn't say anything, so I guess
When
he
Xbox
first
started, so there's no PC players.
You made that comment when you first started playing on PC. You're like, they all play on Xbox. I don't have anyone to play with. And I was like, you should join our clan. We're all in a clan
Which
together.
was at
You
that
should
point
join.
9.
I think. Okay, hold on. I will say I do think I said no to that one. I do remember that.
Yeah.
The reason I said no to that was because I was intimidated at the fact that because again on this one I thought you guys created and I was less intimidated. I was like, I don't want to join this clan, and then all these other players get pissed off and boot me for like not participating.
I'll be honest, I do want to get to a point where we just make our own clan. I feel like we have enough. Like most of the clans I see, at most have maybe 12 people online at a time. We just have to come up with a cool name. The only
We had Faceless Men of Bravo, still Nick Let It Go.
the
Oh, that
only
was a cool name.
well,
I don't know, not anymore.
the only purpose of
No,
clans right now is
right.
to just get gear.
The extra Ingrams. The reason I want to stay in the clans that I'm in is because I get raid Ingrams even though I don't have to complete the raid. You get the raid Ingrams from Hawthorne every week.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that I want to continue to be in a clan that has people that.
But what he's saying is just create our own
Okay,
clan, just actually
hold on.
do the
Time
raid.
out. Thank you. Exactly what Joe just said. Why don't we make our own clan and
Fucking do the
do the raid ourselves?
Okay, so-
listen.
all right,
Hold on,
so
hold on,
all right,
hold on.
so
I don't want to
me-
say anything too controversial, but how about we just play the fucking
I
game?
would love to play the raid. Is
I
all
do,
I'm
okay.
saying.
I
So-
don't have to do any raids. I want to play them.
Same.
Me
Hold
and you
on.
can play together. Me, you, and you can play together. Shannon could play with us if he ever fucking played the game with us.
Good point.
Yeah, fucker.
But the unfortunate problem is that leaves 4 people.
Charles.
Okay.
Okay, 5 for Charles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure I can find
Okay.
others.
Drake.
Okay. But then
Well, Drake's
I-
never online.
Drake's not
gonna play it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this motherfucker for you.
I'm just saying, Greg.
Honestly, I'll just make a clan and be in my own. The clan will be called Roxman's by himself. Fuck all of you.
Roxman's by himself. Fuck all of you.
Yeah.
Roxman's cat.
Is there enough characters that you can use for that?
Probably not.
No, probably is.
I don't know,
They,
did you guys hear about
they
the,
shortened them for a little bit. And now they're back.
I'll
allowed
I'll
to
make
use
the
it.
clan named
Wolfman got
Gizmo's
banned last
Roughnecks.
week, and then there was a big deal about it, and then they reversed it. Shit. Now I'm saying this. I'm afraid. I don't remember. I think it was Destiny. I'm 90% sure it was Destiny, but part of me is like maybe it was World of Warcraft. But long story short, there was a clan that they. It was a
Fucking
well,
thing.
no, it was an LGBT clan. That was formed, and the name of the clan was Gay Boys, and people reported them, so they got banned.
Okay, this just sounds like every multiplayer game ever.
I know, but literally, like, there was this big deal about it. But the reason of what like made them mad, and their whole thing was like, if you want us to change the name, whatever, fine, whatever, that's not a big deal. But when they looked at the reports and were like, this is why people are reporting us. If you look in the chat, people were like, wow, you guys are a bunch of like F words, and then like I'm gonna report you.
Fuckers?
Just because,
It was World of Warcraft.
Gotcha.
yeah, I didn't want to say.
Took
it.
a second.
But it was you guys are a bunch of blank
Friends.
Yeah, I'm reporting you, haha, that you're gonna get banned, and then they would report them. So they were like, we have like scrolls and scrolls of like people like discriminating against us, saying they're gonna report us.
Well,
So they handed it over, and then the people were like, oh yeah, no, fuck that.
They
They're gonna
probably,
ban
if it
you.
was World of Warcraft, they probably got flagged by the auto system.
Well-
if you receive a certain amount of reports from multiple different players within like 24 hours, the system will automatically flag your account and suspend you for 7
apparently,
hours.
also they had a lot of people putting in thinking that they were making fun of the LGBT community, not realizing they were part of the
Oh,
LGBT
gotcha.
community as well. No, they had
Yeah,
both
yeah,
sides firing at the same time,
Yeah.
so they were bi.
So
But
let's pause on the.
You broke Shannon. Corey was like, I'm just gonna keep going.
I'm ready to talk about all the paradox stuff because this shit kills
Paradox?
me.
That was a good one.
Paradox.
That was a good
Paradox,
I don't know what that means.
Stellaris,
I just know Paradox.
and
So like Paradox
Europa
basically released this
Universal.
teaser
yeah. that's
that
what you're talking
apparently
about.
it's pretty. I haven't actually seen the teaser, but apparently it's pretty
There's one doc, and then there's another doc. Paradox.
paradox.
well, actually close because it's
fucking
Dude,
bard.
actually it's pretty close because you're talking about the images they sold.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. So it goes beyond that. So this is why basically Paradox temporarily became the new Blizzard.
Yes.
Oh, that's the bad
So
guy
what
from
was
the
it
first
Blizzard
half and second-
did with
second
the
half of
mobile?
first seasons.
They basically hired a company that already had a game to reskin that game
I'm sorry.
to one of their things, and then
That's what
release it.
Blizzard did.
Basically,
You got
So-
a doc here.
It was also there.
Basically, Blizzard paid, or you're talking about Diablo Immortal, right?
Right, yeah.
So they paid NetEase to make a mobile game.
But you're way too far ahead. What I'm saying
Take my sweater off.
So
I'm getting tired
You
of
guys
bothered
missed
over
this
here.
whole thing. You guys are. You're
No,
in
we
a
heard it.
conversation. We were
Yeah.
like,
You're talking a pair of docs.
Jesus.
I'm
So,
seriously entertained. I'm sorry.
No, Blizzard's marketing strategy is they hyped up this stuff for Diablo, and everyone thought it was going to be either Diablo MMO.
Oh,
and
shit,
then it turned out to be a mobile game.
You're saying you guys don't have phones?
That seems to be the most. That seems to be the most fucking common thing.
I don't have
I've
games
seen.
on my phone.
So Stellaris Paradox
hate
did the
you,
same thing
man.
with Stellaris, and they came out with this mobile game, which I'm not against. I like mobile games.
I wouldn't mind a 4X RTS on my phone.
Same. That I mean, especially when you can kill.
what
time
is
in.
that? What is it for? I keep seeing that term. I don't know what it means. I
Explore,
get that,
expand.
Exterminate.
All right, Hitler.
but okay, that's,
Slow it down a little bit over there.
It's not consciousness, bitch.
none of these words start with X.
No, it's yes, it is. 4X.
It's technically
Explore,
4E.
expand, exploit, exterminate.
It is
But
exterminate.
But
Fuck
EX. 4X.
No. Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. So
Oh, so
EX.
basically, hold on. Let me get this straight. So they're just fucking making up words and changing spellings to make it.
No,
fit.
no. Technically, people also call them 4E games.
Yeah, it's a 4E RTS, but I just prefer
Like
4X
Civilization is a
4X is the
game.
genre of
Only thing
strategy
is,
game.
isn't Stellaris like a fucking like.
Galactic.
Oh, hey, I want to play this game. Buckle up for 7 hours.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay,
Yeah.
what phone are you playing?
Yeah.
What phone are you playing this on that
No,
has a
so-
battery
Ace
life?
for OG2.
No, it's going to be
Even
a,
that, you kill it before you. Yeah.
it's going to be a
save mother. You never.
Well,
you
I
can
didn't-
save
I didn't
mother.
know that.
Every game you get, you just burn straight through.
I thought it was
You
like
sat down-
Monopoly.
Sat
like,
down with Breath- sat down with Breath of
Either
Water, like
leave
I'm
it-
not going to sleep yet.
so
no,
I
but
have
I thought
a-
it was okay. Leave it set up on the table. If you close it
Well,
down, we're starting
I'm
over.
gonna have to go to bed.
No.
Better fight Ganon.
It's one of those that it's one of those that
Exactly.
you start playing it, you start your game, you start doing things, and then I assume, considering they were making a mobile version of it, it's going to have some of the like the idle timer mechanics.
So
And-
as stuff comes out about it, right? So they announce all this, and it goes on beta for 4 countries: Sweden, Australia,
Sweden.
fucking I don't even remember what the third one was. Germany maybe, and Canada. That was it's just a super weird collection of choices, in my opinion. Whatever.
I don't see the connection between any of those. Like,
Exactly. I have no clue.
okay,
the
guys,
connection is
spin
no
the
connection.
globe. I'm gonna throw this knife wherever it lands.
So
They're getting the beta.
they choose these beta things, which is fine. You know, whatever. They pick their beta choices. Maybe they have good reasons. I don't know what it is.
It may just
but-
be 4 different markets.
The people there, or people using VPNs that say they live there, downloaded this app. For starters, they find out it has microtransactions that range from $1 up to 110.
Yep, that's typical mobile game.
It is, unfortunately, and a lot of people who
I
are fans of Paradox have never been fans of that. It's very blatant in everything everyone believes in. Whatever.
I'm so sorry, but what did we determine actually is Paradox? Is that the name of the game?
That's
No,
the producer
Paradox is the
and
developer.
Okay, I honestly, when he did Paradox, I lost focus.
yeah.
I don't know what happened
No, so
after that.
Paradox is, Paradox has made a shitload of games that I know you've played.
Okay. I'm gonna look them up.
Paradox. Yeah. So Stellaris, Europa Universale.
I know them. I've
fucking,
never played them.
They produced that one MechWarrior game, the tactical MechWarrior game that just came out last year. Can't remember what it's
BattleTech.
called. Yeah,
I remember Skylar was excited about that, but
I have it too. It's a
Oh, do you?
great story. I haven't beaten it.
I
literally
own it.
got
I
halfway
have
through.
no
It was really fun.
yeah, whole bundle.
Yeah.
Yep, I was gonna say I remember that coming through.
So
So I told Skylar about it. I was like, Skylar, you should check this out. And he's like, I already got it.
So, people who played it immediately noticed that one guy, and it's funny because I'm part of a Stellaris and Beyond, like it's just a group, a private group that if you request to join, they have like 12,000 members. They just approve everyone. But it's private so that you can't see what they say. And probably for good reason, because a lot of it is very gamer related stuff, like, oh, you know, I've been trying to play this, whatever. But they start doing this, and it is everyone just purely bashing Paradox. One guy, right as they're doing the announcement, says, "This looks like a game called Nova Empire." He's like, it literally looks like a reskin. Turns out that this company, this third-party company, they got Game Bear, created Nova Empire. And it is a straight-up legitimate reskin. To the point where, in the very beginning, if you decline the terms and conditions, it says, if you decline the terms and condition for Nova Empire, we cannot 100% guarantee you'll be able to download all the files. Like, that's a paraphrasing, but it directly says Nova Empire in it.
So what does this have to do with Halo?
So that it gets
Sorry.
to a certain point. Have you seen the actual pictures?
Yeah, Adrian showed that was
Okay.
the thing. Is Adrian showed us earlier, and I didn't realize this was what this was
So,
about. I had heard there was a lot of controversy
The
going on
big
about
thing
this
with
game.
Stellaris is you can pick ethics, you can pick governments. It's very in depth
Stellaris.
in terms of government stuff.
Halo 4.
Tyler's just like, motherfucker.
So loading into, I've seen it. So
Nick was
okay.
like, "There's a couple spots," and I was like, "What? Where it looks similar?" And he was like, "No, that they changed."
yeah, but like if you look close enough to the Stellaris one too, you can still see the outline of the engines from the Pelican that used to be there.
Oh
It
my
is
god!
incredibly blatantly a stolen, but it's a Chinese company. There's no negative culture for copyright infringement in China.
Shockface.
Well,
Why
because
are we gonna
according to
start-
the
why are we gonna
internet,
start
Bungie
banning
doesn't
stuff from
exist.
China
Or
in the
343.
U.S. because they're stealing our shit.
Ha! They own us. So
They own us. You're not wrong.
it got to the point.
By the way, this podcast is sponsored by China, so hail the motherland.
Eventually,
Yes,
they,
I'll hail Winnie the Pooh.
after people started freaking out, an ambassador got online.
Hail to
I'm the one that pointed this out, unfortunately, to the entire group of 12,000 people. Because apparently, I don't know if I was the first one to read it or other people reading it just didn't say anything. It's also, not only can you buy $1 to $110, it's coming with a battle pass
What the fuck?
for a Empire simulator. I don't know what the battle pass is going to do, but fucking whatever. And then literally an hour after that is when people started freaking out about the Halo thing. Within 5 hours of this beta being out, they shut down all servers. So Paradox right now and
Shut it down. Shut it all down.
PDXCon, which is their like convention, is like next week. They're trying to get everything out beta wise ready for
Oh
their
my
convention
God.
to let more people try it. And then this happened.
Talk about a fucking nightmare.
People
Dude,
are gonna be so like
Blizzard has got to be so happy this is happening right now.
oof.
It
Get,
won't. It,
like,
sti-
all,
it
like,
still won't
Pressure
matter.
off of them.
It still won't matter. This BlizzCon this year is going to be a fucking train wreck.
Oh no, don't get me wrong.
Why
I
do
know
they-
it's still
So
absolutely.
why? I don't
So
know much about anything
they've.
at all, Blizzard.
Blizzard has done a lot of.
Have you
faux
not-
pas
have
shit
you
in
not
my-
kept up on it?
I only know that a lot of people are comparing Paradox to Blizzard because of their marketing strategy.
Okay.
They're ridiculous.
So here's the situation.
The shit that they did last week.
With the
3 weeks ago, there
we
was
talking
a
about Blitzchung?
yes.
I already know about him. So
Okay.
go on.
But
Um,
did you hear the new statement they came out and said?
yeah. Did you hear the
I know they gave
apology
back his
letter?
money.
The apology letter from J. Allen Brack.
No.
The
It
the
basically said it was his fault.
the page and a half apology letter from J. Allen Brack and Blizzard that never once uses the
gonna
words
pull it up.
sorry, mistake, apology, or
No, it blames him.
and they literally
Politics.
and the one phrase that they said, we just want to make it clear our actions and Blitzchung's punishment had nothing to do with events in China, or it had
So it was written in Chinese.
and it was
It was written in Mandarin.
all I can think. I don't like Jay Allen Brack.
Yeah.
I never have from the entirety of his tenure at Blizzard. I despise everything about that man because he's the one that brought us the whole you think you want it, but you don't. And then, 2 years ago, he was the one that stood on stage and gave some stupid ass ice cream analogy to announce Classic. Because we finally convinced them that, they can make money off of it.
That's what it all is.
Can I actually read this statement? It's not the whole thing, just this one sentence, like
Yeah.
one, or I guess it's a paragraph. But it literally said,
Page. Paper.
"Were our actions based on the content of the message? Question mark. Part of our motto, think globally, lead responsibly, and every voice matters, is recognizing that we have players and fans in almost every country in the world. Our goal is to help players connect in areas of commonality with their passions for our games and create a sense of shared community. The specific views expressed by Blitzchung were not a factor in the decision we made. We want to be very clear, our relationship with China has no influence on our decision."
But we have people in every corner of the globe that mostly China.
But we have
They
our
went on-
official Blizzard, our official Chinese Blizzard Twitter account tweeting the day after Blitzchung is suspended and banned, tweeting out saying, we will do everything possible to protect the honor and integrity of China.
On top of it, though, one of the things that they came out and said in that letter after that is we want to be very clear. The whole reason he was banned was not because of the views he expressed, but because he was told you're not supposed to talk about anything that's not about this game. So if he had mentioned anything outside of this game, we would have banned him anyway. And everyone was like, okay. And then they went
I
on
love cherry Coke. Banned.
but they said the reason that they also
No, that would have
fired-
been normal because Coke's a massive sponsor for everything Blizzard.
Fuck.
But
I love Mountain Dew.
the other thing is though, they fired the two hosts of people
the
hosting it,
casters.
and the reason for that was they said, "Oh, well, they should have not let him get off topic."
Well,
it's like it happened in like 3 seconds.
well,
first of all, they
also
had
said
like
ahead of time. They said say the 8 words, and then that's when they bowed under the desk.
Yeah.
They knew what he was.
They knew.
what
They
was
knew.
it?
They
I have
knew-
not seen this, so
So,
I'm going off of
The
what
two
letter
casters,
said, so-
basically after the interview,
Okay.
they were like, at the end of the interview for the
Was that
winner,
when
they
it happened?
typically,
Was at the end?
yeah, they typically say, okay, do you have anything you want to say? Like what, all this, and the two casters said, go ahead and say your 8 words, and then both of the casters hid under the
Because
desk.
they didn't want to be affiliated.
They didn't want to be affiliated with it because then he said "Liberty for Hong Kong, Revolution of Our Times," which is the official
Yeah.
protest
I knew
slogan.
that part.
And so that's
I
what
didn't know that they actually.
Yeah,
like,
they
went
said
there.
they straight up
They
said,
knew what he was going to
yeah,
say.
they knew what he was going to say.
At the same time, it's still fuck off.
It's fucking.
Current political
just
climate
the-
we live in.
but
was
it's
gonna
the
say,
way that
it's
they're
like
like.
kneeling- I won't. Sorry if I make anyone mad.
But it's just like the way that they're coming through and like, listen, we didn't ban him for his views. It's because his views didn't have to do with the game. And it's like, okay,
It's
whatever.
a scapegoat.
Yeah, but then on top of it,
People are too stupid to realize it. Apparently,
but I also find it funny that again, Nick pointed this out last week that South Park makes an episode specifically making fun of exactly what's all this, all this is happening and all this is going on. And then who was it that referenced it? Some EDM artist.
Zed.
No,
Zed
Zed,
li-
liked a tweet from South Park after South Park made an
Oh, it wasn't even
episode.
about it then. He
No,
just
he
liked
got
the tweet.
banned.
He liked a tweet that was referencing the 300th episode when in the 299th episode they made fun of China and got South Park banned in China. So he
Yeah.
liked an episode. He liked a tweet saying, "Hey, congratulations!
Hey,
This is South
you
Park
like
on our
something that's
300th
banned in
episode."
China? You don't like China?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
literally like won't let him perform there anymore, and
No.
he is illegal. And it's like, what
He
the
is illegal.
fuck is going on?
Can't let me in. I'm too busy being illegal.
Who the fuck is Randy Marsh? Are you from Pixar? I don't know you.
I
A lot of
cannot wait.
political
That's
stuff
just a great
been
thing.
going on though lately, and it's funny. I don't know if we've had this conversation before, but I feel like as I'm getting older, I see a lot more political shit, and it makes me realize all the old people love political shit. Am I getting old? Fuck.
I don't know. Do you like it?
There are times I enjoy it. I get alerts.
It's
on
time
my,
to kill Corey, guys.
I was gonna say I got like
Children
3
of the
alerts
corn.
today. There was like
of the corn.
from like Politico and shit. And
What the fuck is Politico?
it's a magazine.
Same one that I follow.
damn, you're old.
Well, Politico.
Are you the oldest one here?
Politico was actually voted by, in terms of both parties, to be the most bipartisan neutral.
Yeah.
So I like to stay neutral. I like to read.
I
The
like I like a
basis.
good political argument every now and then.
Yeah.
I like a good political debate, especially with my
But sometimes it's frustrating. Man.
hardcore Republican parents.
Oh well.
Like
My parents are split, so that doesn't.
My
that's not
parents
obvious.
are well. I don't get into politics with my dad, but my mom is.
I have one thing I'm going to say.
Die hard
on this
Republican.
podcast, and it is very. It's safe to say. Am I the only one that felt like in this election, this past, back in 2016?
We got to be careful with this. 'cause
I would
we
be
will
very
lose
careful.
People.
I'll
Okay.
be very careful. But what is it? No, the primaries is where you elect your candidates, both
Yep.
parties or whatever.
Yep.
So after the primaries, shouldn't there be a rule that we can mulligan? Get rid of both of them.
we
Let's
have-
start over.
We have an electoral college to fairly represent the
Republicans, and Democrats,
population-
and not everyone else.
population because according to statistics, the majority of populations, I like the quotes, the majority of the population in the United States are more focused in the main cities than it is in rural environments. Therefore, the main purpose of the Electoral College is to give fairness for those in the rural areas, right?
I still don't understand
The-
how that even works. That has never once in my life made sense to me.
Okay, so quick poli-sci lesson rule here. Okay. How many people live in
Just
like
say
Seymour,
okay,
Indiana?
Okay.
How many people live in Seymour,
I
Indiana?
have no idea.
Okay,
For
let's
the-
assume a couple thousand, right? Because
Okay.
it's an hour and a half south of here in the middle of farmlands.
Okay.
How many people live in downtown Indianapolis?
18,000 billion.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's
These are
predominant-
exact numbers, people. We already like
took
fact checked
predominant-
everything. We
predominant,
fact checked
predominant views of people in a city are going to be concerning themselves, right? Concerning urban architect or urban infrastructure, roads, bridges, public transit, things like that. Their views are, and there's a so let's just say Indianapolis has 1 million people. Okay, they have 1 million people that all want those specific policies enacted. Okay, and typically people that are clustered in a single area together tend to share the same political views,
Yeah.
i.e., urban environments
Yeah.
typically lean left,
But this
typically
is my
lean
question.
democratic. People in Seymour are more concerned with agriculture and subsidies for their farms and making sure that they have these systems and
Religion.
stuff,
Big one,
religion,
yeah.
things like that. People in rural areas typically lean more Republican, more right of the aisle. The Electoral College was created so that city centers and urban centers don't dominate the elections,
Right.
because there's 1 million people living in a city that share the same views, while the 8,000 people living in Seymour get washed out because they don't have the same voice. Now, I'm breaking this down into cities.
Yeah.
We're talking states. New York City and California have such massive population
Yep.
differences compared to
Indiana.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Even Indiana.
so, yeah.
You would use
And
Indiana.
so,
and I still
Illinois,
California and New
I
York
do
are
still have
predominantly liberal, predominantly Democrat,
Yeah.
and so if their votes held the same sway as the 500,000 people that live in the entirety of Idaho, Idaho's votes don't fucking matter. So the Electoral College was created to spread the votes out so that
It
less
also-
represented
It
areas.
also helps so that a candidate can't just go to the cities. Because, like, Indianapolis, great example. Indianapolis, even though it is a city, is still very conservative, very Republican.
Mhm.
That's why Indiana is a red state. So it saves from political candidates. Instead of just saying "fuck you" to the farmers, they just go to the cities. That's why they have conventions in fucking podunk nowhere.
That's why for some
Backyard.
reason Iowa is one of the most important states
This
in the
is the
country.
question. This is the question that doesn't make sense to me. I can't understand.
Go ahead.
I slept through government. So Electoral College. Okay. An election.
Yeah.
Is we're going to ask every single person that is able to vote who you want.
Mhm.
Pick your candidate. We're going to ask every single person in America. So let's get rid of elections. Let's not be political about this. Let's just say we're going to ask 1 million people, what is the better ice cream, chocolate or vanilla? So you go through and you ask everyone, what's your favorite? I'm dead serious. What's your favorite ice cream, chocolate or vanilla, between the two?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Okay, I'll go with vanilla. So how many vanillas?
4.
4, and then who said chocolate? Okay, well, you live out in the countryside, so your vote counts for 10 times, so he wins. Chocolate's the best.
No.
No.
It goes by population.
I get that, but
Population
you
of the
can't
whole
just sit
entire
there and say, like, oh, well, there's not a lot of people out here, so these 500 people
I
want
think the biggest issue when it
chocolate, but these 1,000 people over here want vanilla, but because there's 1,000 of them and there's only 500 of them, we need to make
Think
their
about
votes
it. Think
count
about it
more.
this way:
That's not how
1,000.
that should count.
a
You
thou-
can vote 1,000,000 people. It should be 1,000,000 people. 600,000 said this. 400,000 said this. It's what the 6,000 people said.
Think about it this way: Iowa has.
I'm not gonna fuck about Iowa. We're
No.
polling the whole United States.
No, I
not
know,
just
but
Iowa.
this is how I'm going to compare it. Iowa has 1 million people that lives in the entire state.
Okay.
California, 25 million.
Okay.
In Iowa, if they hold their election for president in that state, and it comes out to 60-40 Republican to Democrat, that's only a difference in voters of 100,000 people.
But what I'm saying is, why are we looking at this by states? It's not a state that voted. The entire
is.
country came
It is.
together to
No,
vote.
No,
it is a
it is.
state.
That state voted Republican, so the Republicans get that state's electoral votes.
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay, follow.
Okay.
Iowa is granted 27 electoral votes.
Okay.
Because they have 1 million people in the state. California votes, and they voted predominantly Democrat,
Okay.
but their 25 million people was 18 million voting Democrat and 7 million voting Republican.
Okay.
Okay. If we were doing the popular vote,
Yeah.
people in Iowa their voice wouldn't be represented because the 18 million in Colorado, 18 million in California have all this voting power.
There's not 1 million people in
So,
Iowa. We're talking about the
California,
50 million
No,
people
I know.
that voted the same way
but
Iowa did.
California.
There's other people voting that Iowa that you're not looking at.
What do you mean?
The people in Kansas that also voted the same way Iowa did.
Yeah,
in the
but
same
they
way
have
that
they have their electoral votes from their state. Every state has a set amount of electoral votes based on population.
I'm just saying, look at all history, and I'm not even
certain
talking.
points.
I get that, but I'm saying, like, even look at not even this past election. I look at every fucking election that's happened basically since George Washington, and popular vote has never once been what the people have voted is not what is happened because of the electoral college. Electoral college.
False. 2004, when George Bush got reelected for his second term, he dominated in a landslide popular
Barack
vote.
Obama.
No.
won
Barack
popular
Obama, his
vote.
second term.
No,
Yes.
Barack Obama. in his
that was
first
the
term.
whole fucking
Yeah.
thing. Was that everyone was like, no, popular vote is
By the way-
absolutely doesn't mean
By the way,
shit.
Richard
'cause nobody
Nixon.
voted for
Richard
George
Nixon.
Bush.
I believe it's Richard Nixon won the popular vote for his very first. Well, his only. Getting into politics. Politics Hour brought to you by YouTube. Fuck
Right there.
you.
2004
concurrent
election.
viewers.
George,
Nobody's
George
talking in
Bush
chat.
won with
Let's see what you guys
62
got.
million vote popular. John Kerry lost with 59 million vote popular. George Bush won the election with 3 million more popular votes, and
So,
he also won the electoral
in
college.
example to Trump, this is an example where the electoral votes did
Mattered.
not follow
the popular.
the popular vote.
Trump managed to swing a lot of the agriculture and factory workers and rural people.
Okay, but that also means that the majority of the population that did vote against him, their voices weren't heard because they
No,
gave too much power to
I
them.
hear what he's saying.
Yes.
But
And
you-
again, I'm not trying to get. I do want to be very clear on this podcast. I'm not being political. This
No,
is not.
yeah.
We're just using.
But
that is the most recent.
You have
election.
to look at it
That's
in
what we're
terms of
looking at. But what I'm
percentages
saying
as
is-
opposed to. So, like, to give an example, everyone right here, just for sake of example, everyone right here is Republican, right?
Okay.
We all have the exact same voice,
Okay.
right? So what you're saying is there should be 5 people at another table. If they're Democrat, all their voices should be able to outmatch ours.
Not outmatch, but it would be
To match,
it
I'm
would
sorry,
yeah
to be
to match. Yes.
Equal,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Except in certain podcasts, there's only one person, and he's the only person on that entire podcast, and he's only been there for the majority of his life. He doesn't want his vote to mean nothing.
It doesn't mean nothing because there's how many millions of other people on their own little podcast that are out there that have one vote.
But if you look at the overall entire stats of the country, the focus of our country are the focused 5 people podcast versus the 1 people podcast.
So their vote doesn't matter anyway.
But that's not. So you're saying that an entire group of population shouldn't matter to vote
What? Can we move on?
then?
This is becoming the Joe's a fucking idiot.
No,
Podcast. I don't like using that word. It's a thing. That is a word that was fine to say when we were younger. It meant something else.
Hey,
And now I try
Michael-
not. But my point is, I
as
try not to
Michael
say it. now.
Gary Scott said, you don't call retarded people retarded.
Correct.
You call your friends retards when they're being retarded.
And we lost a viewer. We're down to 3 viewers now. I don't know who's watching, but nobody's talking in chat. Say stuff. Sorry. Oh, not you. I don't give a shit about you. You haven't talked this whole fucking time.
I have.
Yeah, what is your
Just-
political view?
So why do you hate Destiny?
You know what?
Let's just. I want to bring it all the way back around.
Let's ask the real question.
All right.
Why do you hate us?
Yeah, why don't you ever play games?
because
Why are you
you're
even
because
here?
you're white.
No, that's fair.
No, honestly,
All right,
I've
in the
come
podcast, we're done.
I've come
And
to
we
the-
gained back a viewer.
Look, yeah. No,
We're like, I'm represented here.
honestly, I think I've burnt myself out on playing like online games so much. I've played so many. I've played hours and hours.
Borderlands.
Solo.
By himself.
Oh yeah, good point. Who plays Borderlands solo?
Him.
People with no friends.
Him.
I don't know. I haven't played that many online games very much. Like right now, my thing that I'm playing the most right now is Code Vein. So, and that's not even something I thought I would play.
Not into the microphone.
It's turned off. Okay. I literally did it on purpose. Okay. I've heard that's very good.
I like it a lot. It's Dark Souls, the anime, basically.
So I'm torn.
My weeboo heart
I
wants
wanna-
this game now.
I want to play a game that has a great story, which is one reason why I'm excited for Red Dead Redemption. Not saying Destiny doesn't have a great story, but it's already gotten to the point now in Destiny, I feel overwhelmed when I log in that all I end up doing is going to the moon and going in circles. Like, I need to get some bounties done, and I just go and do those bounties to get gear.
See,
Does
like-
Red Dead have a good story? I'm not trying to. I'm not
No,
being a
I've
smart.
I've
No,
heard it has a great
two?
story.
Yes.
Okay, I've heard no one talk like when Red Dead Redemption 1 came out. I feel like for like 4 years after, people were talking about how like that was one of the best
I
stories
think
that come out.
it's
I haven't heard anyone.
It
talk
was
about
news. It
It was just new.
Yeah, it was
something
news.
different.
News.
Like it was like, oh, like okay, I can give you that.
It was
I think they
groundbreaking.
expected that. Like
Yeah.
the bar was already up there.
And
It's like-
apparently they matched.
What would you guys say is the best game that came out this year, story wise?
Story-wise?
Sorry, don't recognize the
What?
name.
Don't say World War.
Dakota Kendall.
No.
Oh,
no,
it's a coworker.
No, I
Friend.
was.
Oh,
not,
cool, cool.
I was not going to say World of Warcraft this year for best story.
I said say stuff. Not a big fan of politics, but I do enjoy listening to you guys.
Hey, we love you.
I mean, we
together.
were more or less just
We were
talking the
explaining-
political system,
Yeah,
not
the
so
system.
much
Yeah.
politics. Anyway, we're back on the games now.
Best story of this year, and I mean it's pretty obvious from my opinion. I think what we have seen so far of Shadowkeep's story
really
for me is
that makes me want to play it even more.
seriously, I've been waiting for
You get wet for Destiny.
okay, yeah, sorry, sploosh.
So that's the issue, but I feel like that's incredibly fair. That is such a fair thing. We have to take the fanboyism out.
Yeah.
So example is Nick.
What?
I can't remember what I said or what we were talking about, but it had to do with Elder Scrolls, and he was so excited and so hyped for something Elder Scrolls. Might have been Elder Scrolls Online. I said, Nick, you don't even know if it's going to be a good game. No, I'm talking back when we lived in the townhouse. I was
it's
like,
probably ESO, yeah. 'cause it
I was like,
being beta
Nick, I
tested.
don't even know if you're gonna know. I don't even know if it's gonna be a good game. He goes, it's gonna be a great game. Why would you think it's not gonna be a great game? I was like, but you're a fanboy. And he goes,
This is the same point I was
That's
making
fair.
last week with BioWare, and you guys were all like,
A, wasn't here last week. B,
That was like 3
I'm
weeks
sorry,
ago.
Dolphin. C, like
"Fuck you, Dolphin."
BioWare. Oh wait, I was here for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you were here for that.
No, but
BioWare makes
You
great
spent
games,
like 30
fanboy.
minutes trying to explain to
Yeah.
him that he was
Talk your way out of
wrong.
this, fanboy.
no, but so that's the thing.
What if this movie sucks?
At the same great movie. At the same
Great
time with that
film.
though, we both acknowledge that there are BioWare games out there that are poopy doopy.
Poopy doopy.
It's true, right? Anthem is such a big one. Mass Effect Andromeda. It is.
Dude, we literally
It is like
we moved Anthem.
I think I
into
found
our
a new
value
screen name.
games this week. It's in the
okay,
value bin.
exactly. So
Speaking of which, they have a new Halloween update, and everybody in Merlin's Nights is so ecstatic to play all of the Halloween stuff for
Halloween?
Anthem. I was like, wait a minute, you guys haven't uninstalled that piece of shit yet?
I can't believe they installed it.
If it tells you anything, I saw a picture the other day that said that Anthem was streaming on Twitch, like their
3.
category had 7 viewers, and
Oh.
I was just like, now that right there, that is a record in and of itself.
But those 7 people were like, "Look how great this game is, guys."
dude,
How great
Honey
it
Pop
is.
is banned and
Hang
still
in
had more
there, guys.
viewers.
Hang in there, guys. Eventually, they'll realize how great you are.
no, those seven viewers.
We're developers.
No,
The moms of the developers
Those
going,
are
"My
people-
son made this game."
those are people that haven't played the game.
yeah,
They don't own it. They're just like, oh, this game looks so
Yeah,
cool. I
so
really
it
wish
was-
I could
this
have it.
Destiny game looked cool.
it was 7 viewers for 5 minutes. But so
That was their
to
peak.
rebut the whole Shadowkeep thing, I don't think it's bad.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of where it left off because that was Halo 2 level of cliffhanger.
Nick said
That-
you didn't even know it was over.
Yeah, no.
Was that it?
We finished the game and we're like, this is great. And then like the next day he texts me, dude, did you realize that we finished that? I was like,
It
no.
Now, here-
Like
okay, so here's the thing.
because we still got to do this and this. And he's like, No, dude, that was the end of Shadow
this
Keep.
fool's-
More
this-
story stuff is coming out throughout the coming weeks with
And I get
seasons.
that.
So have you
I
been to the have you
understand.
have you been to the tower?
side with Corey on this.
Have you been to the tower and seen what's being built behind
Not
Ikora?
yet.
So literally every week we're gathering parts
Right.
and she's building the portal. I
Bro.
think
I agree with you. First off, Fortnite started that whole thing. Hate to tell you. Hilariously to say, the whole
Yeah,
story,
but they're in a black. Or well, no, I guess
No, the whole
Yeah, but
story,
before all of that, it was here's these portals opening up. What are they? Oh, where are these
even
missiles
before
coming?
that, the meteors
The
landing.
meteors,
and
the
then
volcano.
every week the map would change where trucks would suddenly appear gathering the meteors. Yeah, no, that is a great concept. But in terms of expansion, was it an expansion?
Yeah.
At this point, I view it less expansion, more DLC.
I hate to say it, but I can see. the point on that.
And don't get me wrong, the whole story, the whole end, the whole cutscene, fucking cool. Gave me goosebumps. I want to see where it goes.
I
But
will
the fact
say,
it
I'm
didn't
sitting.
come out.
I've been sitting here with blue balls ever since 3
Yeah.
days after launch. But with that being said, I've still been having fun touching myself
Guys, it's
while
okay.
thinking about like
Here's the
what's
thing,
coming.
It's okay. The story is coming. The story is coming.
you've got blue balls. You've got blue balls,
I'm edging. I'm just
But-
waiting for release.
but
We basically just went on our mid-season break, and that sucks.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
My thing is for me is it honestly it makes me excited to log in on Tuesday. It makes me
To see what changed.
to come back and like
But-
the first thing I did yesterday
Guys, there's a new brick.
when reset happened was I literally was like, okay, I need to go. I want to see where the construction's at with Ikora. You go and visit Ikora, and she gives you like a lore piece, and they're talking about what they're doing. And then you go visit Eris, and she gives you another lore piece. And
Yeah.
See,
there
It's
is
cool
story
that-
progression. It's not.
cool that it
this
evolves.
is, there is a difference to this though between the two players here. I do want to point this out. Corey enjoys his life.
So here's the other thing. I don't necessarily view it.
Remember that when I carry you through Iron Banner for 4
Okay,
hours,
Okay.
so that you can complete your.
I'm gonna say something a little controversial here.
Oh, here we go. Nick's
Okay,
bringing Con.
okay.
Nick's bringing Con
Let me
versus.
tell you.
So you're viewing this as it's more of a DLC because it's not the full
Yeah.
thing, but
It's a map pack.
No, I would say more than anything, this is a television series on HBO, not a television series on Netflix.
Yeah, I agree.
So do you feel that
So
a
it's
season of Game of
and it's going to be a real letdown at the end.
not the final season, this is just the first new season.
The first new season.
Technically the third.
No,
Well,
actually,
Still not a bad season.
you wanna
Third
get-
season's so
actually,
good, we're getting the red
you wanna get
wedding.
Technical. This is
We're
season
getting-
9,
8.
8.
This
Yeah.
is season 8.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, we're fucked.
So
Guys, it's going to turn out to.
my thing
Ikora
is,
was-
But
Where's
like,
the Night King?
but
or
like
not
my,
Ikora,
my,
the,
my thing is
the
this
ball
is
with your
more
dad.
of a you're getting
Floor
the
checks.
season throughout a longer period of time, so it's kind of forcing you to wait a week between each episode instead of just giving you all of the content right off the bat and you binge.
There's
watch
a
it.
reason why the binge
Right.
watching model succeeds much more than.
I wouldn't say
week.
succeeds much more. It
How many
provides
people didn't even start Game of Thrones until season 7?
That's because they're fucking idiots. He hasn't even seen it.
My
no,
point.
But he does have a good point,
those are bandwagoners.
There are people
though,
that-
people that are getting on the bandwagon
which is
late.
partially what Destiny wants because it brings
Yeah.
more players in.
Yeah.
Sure, I get that. But overall, like, it wasn't even a full season, guys. This was the first
$60
3
game.
episodes.
Yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. They're giving us it episodically as
What he's
opposed
saying
to.
is you guys are saying
But
that this game right now is game of the year.
No.
But it's
I- that was the
episodically
question I
every
asked at the beginning.
3 months. That's how long a season is.
Yeah, but no, we're gonna get the story for this season over the space of the season, and then come the end of
But
season
it's
8.
not going to be over the space of a season, right? It's going to continue to add stuff, and it might
Because
add
season
stuff.
9 will play off of season 8, and then season
Yeah,
10 will play off of
exactly.
season 9, and then season
So
11
you're
will play off of
getting
season
an
10.
episode every 3 months if we're going to keep it television.
No,
He's
because
just
we're
putting it-
we're still getting small story here and there,
Yeah,
and
so
then
that
like
plays out to an episode, is what he's saying.
right. So like Shadowkeep was episode 1. Episode 2 was Vex incursions
The
that
raid.
are going on right now, huh?
The raid and everything.
Yeah. The
Sure.
raid and the new Vex incursions.
Sure.
Where's the story in any of that,
The actual storyline as to what you're doing, like the fact that the Vex are coming here, so now you have to go.
the Black
Garden
is
like-
alive again.
Yeah, so you have to go
Okay.
to the Black Garden and attack the Vex and keep them back and blah 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 blah. You haven't done any of that because you don't have Shadowkeep.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, okay, that is a very, very thin story. When we specifically started out saying we're talking about storyline here, that's a very thin story for an entire week.
I want to put a pin in it for you because you haven't played yet and you don't know the twists that are in the main campaign for Shadowkeep.
Okay.
Because it introduces.
You can't put a pin in me.
No,
So-
I can't.
I could put a dick in you, but
So,
I mean that's just a whole
To
other.
follow
Same thing.
the
See,
whole
I mean, it's
thing with
small,
the end
but
of
don't
Shadowkeep
like.
is focused
kick me
around
when
the
I'm down.
moon. Okay, Black Garden is not on the moon.
Yes.
What does the Vex
No,
and
no,
the
no,
Black Garden have to do with the things happened with Eris Morn and Shadowkeep?
I can't say much with him here. The end of Shadowkeep.
Joe,
that
I don't know what the
cutscene.
fuck are you talking
Joe,
about?
that
earmuffs.
I don't know
cutscene-
my head.
That
Earmuffs.
cutscene did not take place in the Black Garden.
Obviously, thank you.
It took place in.
To what he said,
You round the
Black
corner and the
Garden,
thing.
Yeah, to what he said, the Black Garden and everything is its own portion of the episode.
That's
That
literally
has
storyline
nothing
B.
to do.
This is
at
the
this point, we're watching Lost because there's shit happening that makes no fucking sense.
here's how I would equate it to. We just got the first you said this counts as the first 3 episodes. So like Shadowkeep was like the first 3 episodes. We got a lot of story developing and story and stuff like that. Now we're on a couple episodes of Walking Dead where all you're getting is combat but no real character development. But we're using this combat to lead up to introducing more characters that will actually involve more story
in 3 months.
Yeah.
No, because
When is the next big story thing going to happen?
Yeah.
Is what he's trying to get to.
Whenever
season.
Whenever
So-
this
Yes, which doesn't end for another how long? Until middle of December?
54 days?
No, but that's okay.
So we have 54 days.
You're thinking that the content that we've gotten at the beginning of Season of the Undying, your line of thought is stating that the content that we've received, once you finish that cutscene, we're done until the next season comes out. That's false.
That's what you
Assuming,
basically just said, though.
we're
Did I
not
say-
listening to the breadcrumbs like the weekly development of the construction behind Ikora.
Which again is very
These
small increments that they're giving
super
you.
small. I mean, people.
But we don't know.
People-
Maybe when they finish the portal, we're gonna get access to a whole new
people,
area that
when
we
they
play
play
in.
Fortnite,
Another week or 2 weeks.
But I don't think
That's what he's saying is, do you really think that's
don't
gonna happen?
So.
But
I
Don't
think-
hold your breath.
Like, what is the what they have that roadmap, right?
Yeah.
Of the season, and like what
The
week
next
is it?
season is the season of the redacted, the season
no.
of the redacted, the
Ignore
season of the redacted.
I'm talking about just the season of Undying.
Okay.
There's a map of the season of Undying, right?
So for the next 54 days, what this game is going to be.
Yeah. There's an exotic quest. There's 2 exotic quests,
Yep.
if I remember correctly. What else is there? I know they are already unleashed the raid, so that was the first step in Season of the Undying. Here in a couple weeks, we get our exotic quest, which is for Leviathan's Bow, if I remember correctly. What's after that?
Raid
you have,
launch
you have
then
Festival of the Lost.
Okay.
Then
Which
you
is
have the new,
Basically
hold
a
on,
solstice event.
then you have the new dungeon that comes out, which is the same
Dungeon
thing
Lost.
as
A strike.
Shattered Throne.
Okay.
So it's a dungeon.
so it's a mini raid.
Yes, mini
So
raid.
you guys keep saying mini raid. The term that they specifically use is dungeon. Like
Yes,
well, Bungie-
because
dungeon
the
is a
raid
raid.
is-
Dungeon is a raid for 3
No, I
people.
know, but every time I say dungeon, Nick's like, no, it's not a dungeon. It's called a mini strike.
But
or a
but
mini raid.
but when people say dungeon, their first thought is World of Warcraft dungeon, which is the
I'm just saying,
equivalent
is
of
that
a
not what they're-
strike.
I'm trying
in
to.
this.
What I guess what I'm asking. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, am I using the right term? Because Bungie keeps saying dungeon. Are
Bungie
you
calls it a
saying-
dungeon.
Are
I
you
am
saying mini strike to keep people from getting confused?
yes,
But dungeon is the proper term.
correct.
Okay, that's all I was trying to clarify. I was trying to figure out if I kept saying
So-
the wrong
so-
thing and I'm not
okay,
understanding
so yeah.
what it is. But
10-5, we had the raid
I'm
launch of the Vex Offensive. 10-8, we had the
Master Nightmare.
the hero nightmare hunts,
Yep.
which that added more story to an extent. Then
New
10-15,
Nightmare hunts every week.
we have
what is
legend
that
nightmare
too?
hunts.
That's a shadow that I can't see.
Yeah, yes, that
That
kind
we
of stuff.
fought in that cave, or
We,
fought in this
yeah,
cave.
yeah. And then
That's
Iron
not a
Banner.
nightmare hunt. That's just a.
That's just a random
bonus.
nightmare.
That was just a random nightmare. Nightmare
Nightmare
hunts
hunt
are
is like going.
a
it's literally
strike
hunting
with one of
for
those
that.
as the final boss.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Uh,
God, fuck that.
yes.
That was fucking hard just to land, dude.
1022 exotic quest Leviathan's Breath, and
Searches
then
above.
master nightmare hunts. So nightmare hunts, more nightmare hunts. Then
Which again, so
1029 to 1119 is Festival of the Lost. 29th is
There
dungeon,
is story to that.
new dungeon, and a new PvP mode called Momentum Control. Then
I think our definition of what story is very different.
well, my point is you're getting new content that
We're not talking
is
about
Content is not story. I agree.
So
If we're talking
also,
about a game that is giving new content, we
I agree with what-
completely understand, like 100%. Yeah, this game is getting fresh
And,
content
that's
constantly.
awesome.
I
But we
agree
were
with what
specifically talking about. I went from Red Dead Redemption storyline and something like Heavy Rain's storyline and
Those
Days
single-player
Gone's
games.
storyline.
those all single player games.
Then why the fuck did you bring up a non-single player game? Is my question. I specifically said
He asked an opinion question on what I thought was so far the best story of the year, and I said for me, Shadowkeep
he is right on that. We just
Shadowkeep
fuck out of it.
and where we are at
No.
for me is an awesome culmination of a storyline that's been going on for 5
And
years.
that was
and
where the argument came up.
the
is
fact
'cause
that when
I don't
we-
view it as a culmination. I view it as
Which I will
when
give
we
him
rounded
and
that
Ted
corner,
for his opinion.
when we rounded that corner and
Yeah.
saw what you both know is
Yeah.
there, for
Am I
me
gonna even know what this is? Am I gonna
that
be
was
excited? I feel like I'm not
5
gonna know what
years
it is.
of 5 years of us trying to figure stuff out and realizing that it's been right there the entire fucking time.
See, I have not followed any of Destiny's story.
You
besides,
guys,
like,
you
the
guys
main-
watched
Yeah.
that 4-hour thing, right?
yeah.
What
You
for?
understand the lore video
But
from
Is
by-
that ever explained?
From what?
What those are?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, like hour and something in. That it explains what they are. Those are I can't
The
fucking
4-hour
I
video
can't
is-
fucking talk about it with him here because it spoils it. It's a great fucking scene.
So do I need to watch this 4-hour thing?
No,
no, you don't have to. But
No, like
I'll be
what
honest
is
with you.
it? Is this 4-hour thing
It's-
like a behind the scenes
it's a-
look, or is it?
No,
like
no. It's this is the lore of Destiny up to Shadowkeep.
YouTube video kind of
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
It is
I
a-
thought you were saying
it
like
is
this
a-
is like in game,
No.
like the lore
This
book
is
to
a-
unlock the 4-hour
This
video.
is
and
a
the lore.
3-hour and 57-minute YouTube
So I
video.
probably should actually watch.
To be
this
fair,
to
it's
catch up.
fantastic.
It is
If,
a
if for
incredibly
whatever
well
reason my name is Biff, watching
Bife.
this, fuck you.
It's Bife.
You're fantastic. That's all I was gonna say.
I do feel really bad. I'm sorry. I 100% am agreeing with Corey on this, and I am on that side, the side of you. But we did specifically say for you guys, what's your?
I know, and
You're fucking wrong, man.
I like. I was
Fuck
just
you.
I was trying to reach out and be like, what was so?
I think
you
he's
know,
just trying to see, like,
captivating
in your
of it
opinion,
is-
why was it so
I
good?
like your
And
I
then,
like your point though because you said that we have different opinions on what story is.
Yeah.
For you, it seems like what you guys want is a
I want to see what the
I think
next
I
step
think
is.
I think handheld is like
No, that
is
is
a little
me.
too is a little too offensive
No,
to
I
it.
was gonna
That
say,
is
You
I'm
guys
fan
want
of
a
those.
you guys want a guided story content
That is
where you complete story mission
See, I
1,
just
finish
feel-
it, story mission
I don't
2,
even-
finish it, and
I
you
don't
go
even
through
feel
that.
like I need a guided story, but like the lore and everything behind it that talks about it, while they're super cool to read and super cool to get, there's no
I have a good way
what's
to
the word?
explain this.
No, not organization, no impact.
I
with
have an
what's
explanation
going
of
on
that.
in the story you're reading. You end up reading like I just got a couple ghosts, like
Mm-hmm.
dead ghosts. It's super cool. The whole voice line of them fighting Crota and understanding that that's how they died and everything. That's super neat. Has zero impact on the rest of Shadowkeep.
Yeah, the big thing is look at
So that yes, that's story, but that's not progressive story. That's tidbits. That's
But that's-
background.
that's
information.
world building.
That's why they
That's
switched
world
their
building.
it's
that's
an
why they switched their
encyclopedia. It's
that's
not-
why with Shadowkeep they're switching their model to
Yeah.
this time gated.
So it's like feeding extra breadcrumbs. It
Yes.
puts more breadcrumbs.
Okay,
and
you-
a little bit of breadcrumbs,
Great job.
and
You
some
guys did
breadcrumbs.
this story up to this part. You got into big thing that you'll find out about. This happened, this situation, boom, cliffhanger. Okay, now because of that, Ikora needs to build this portal.
Sure.
So now we're working over these couple weeks to build the portal. What happens when we build the portal? Maybe we're going to get
Well,
introduced
we're-
new characters. Maybe we're going to
not really building the portal.
actually, well, technically the bounty that you do every week for Ikora that pops up, the arm and a leg one, which gathering Vex components, which are actually figured it out. The little green things we pick up, the Vex chassis components,
Yeah.
that's what those are.
Yeah.
We're turning those in every week to Ikora,
Yeah.
which is advancing her progression on building the portal.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, you're using those to buy not pinnacle weapons.
So, and you know what? This is how it would change in my mind. If I wanted more direct impact, then it shouldn't be time gated. You know what? Let's make it outrageous. Let's say you need 5,000 of those fucking chassis, those Vex chassis. I should be able to get 5,000. It unlocks the next part of the story.
But the whole point is you're supposed to be playing this as a community.
Fire team.
Well,
We had this
yes and
discussion
no.
last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But like it's one of those where
Joe really wanted to die on that hill.
I know.
He really wanted to die on that hill.
like I don't know.
My only thing is where I'm agreeing with Corey on this is my thing is, so I'm going to put this into two different terms that you may understand. Did you ever play Bloodborne?
No.
Okay, so only one term that you'll understand. I'll bring Shannon into this now to enjoy this conversation.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Shannon.
Oh, I'm here.
He is our resident knowledge holder of things Joe's going to talk about. Go ahead.
No, Bloodborne has a very rich history in world building. There is
All the
no
Dark Souls
story to
games
that
do.
game because the only storyline is okay, walk from here to here, go to here to here, kill this, do this, kill this, kill that, kill this, kill that, you beat the game. But if you want to learn the story, every weapon you go through and open tells you, oh, this was a weapon that was forged by so-and-so 200 years ago that went on and was passed down by this family to the... And it gives you little tidbits of, okay, that's who that character was, or that's who that character was, or that's who that character was. But that's like reading an encyclopedia. That doesn't tell you the story.
Like a Codex in Mass Effect.
You can't
So-
read an
right.
encyclopedia about
And
the Civil
absorb the
War
super cool
and
story.
understand
But see,
people's story.
Part of the reason
of the
My Name
Civil-
is Bive's
they went-
video was so fantastic is because he connected it all together
Yes.
to create a cohesive story.
Which is great
But-
that he did homework on, but Bungie should be doing that
But
for
well,
us.
but apart, if you pull that lore apart in its own individual lore, you get a codex.
Yeah, that's why I quit reading the codex. And then, first of all, you were the one that told me to stop reading codexes in games.
in Mass Effect, because it took you like 12 hours to get
but
to
technically,
the fucking
if I
Citadel.
open up my thing right now and look at my collection of lore, there is a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
and it's great.
But-
That's
but
so
no, I
great
mean,
for world building.
like
But
I
it's not
specifically,
building a cohesive story.
but I specifically told him to stop reading codexes when he was playing the first Mass Effect, and it
No,
took
I
him
was 12 hours in. And
12
I
hours in, and he still
I
hadn't gotten
even
to the
got to that
Citadel.
club yet.
You hadn't left Eden Prime.
Yeah,
No.
there's that club thing that you go and you meet some dude that has a visor.
That's on the Citadel.
Yeah. That,
Oh, okay,
that was-
okay,
that
he
was-
had just gotten to the Citadel after 12 hours.
I hear you.
Been
And
there.
if you read the Codex of Mass Effect, it's super cool to learn about the Krogan and the fucking whatever
About
Tally is.
Krogan
Can't
and all the
remember.
quads.
Point.
Tally is
Case in point.
Corian.
Corian, thank you. I want to
Yeah,
say
Corian.
Koran, and I'm like, that's religious.
What are you looking for?
I know you have a copy of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Why?
Actually, that is a good point. Now I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
it should be up there
Fantastic
by
Beasts and
the.
Where to Find Them. I'm not trying to jump back to Harry Potter, but it's an encyclopedia that tells you the histories of all the different magical creatures in the world of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a really cool thing. It tells you the lore of all of them. It doesn't tell you Harry's story.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you the story of Dumbledore or the story of
What's his name?
Snape or any of them.
Newt
It's just,
Scamander.
there's this really, and again, it's brilliant for world building. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying this is what Corey shares. I wish Bungie would help me piece these together better.
I think
than
I
here's
see
the
what Joe is
encyclopedia,
saying.
Just kind of read it.
I think I have a better way to put what you're saying.
If you do, go please.
I think you want to either A, have a cutscene, or B, have gameplay of it instead of reading about it. You
Yes.
want to actually experience, okay, so they made this weapon. Can I go to a flashback and play and see the guy forging the weapon or,
Yes.
or whatever?
And you know what's
which
so
again, I
fantastic about this?
I
The
understand.
Last Word quest does that.
Yeah.
And that is
Really?
by far one of my favorite exotic quests. Yes.
though. No,
It is so fucking cool. Going
Well-
through and meeting the Hive individual, the Hive acolyte that built and helped forge
like
Last
the
Word.
Hive Alchemist
as
or
you-
like not.
Like, not to
are they
ruin too
sending
much, you basically get
Yeah.
to certain points where you have
I thought
to
it was literally a
duel
Hive
with him.
collection where it was
And that
like
is
they were all
so
just like
cool.
mindless, like zombies.
That's
So
the
so
Vex.
that's the thing. So like the exotic quests that are
Vex-
coming up, where you're just like,
Vex
oh,
is the
exotic
hive
quest.
mind that-
They said
So
that they're
if you
actually
watch that
doing
video,
more
yeah,
story-based
explains
stuff
which is
specifically
great.
like that.
That's so
They're-
awesome.
yeah.
But that still
Uh,
doesn't go back to Shadow.
I will absolutely watch this.
Well, but,
'Cause that's what I've been
again,
wanting
it's
to
one of those
see.
that
I
like
understand
so
what's going
by
on.
the end of the season of the Undying,
Yeah.
we will know everything that's going on there with what was at the end of Shadowkeep. But it will pose a new question, so that way the next season, the season of Redacted,
Right.
is going to start its own story. That still plays off of the remainder of this,
Sure.
but that is all finished. Now we are on to this season, and each season will have its own
Yeah.
like separate
But this is
I-
another
I
question:
get it.
is so what are we going to do? And again, this doesn't apply to us, but how is that going to help? So how do I'm trying to find a way to explain this. What is Mass Effect? Okay.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 comes out.
Okay.
It comes out. You could still go back and play Mass Effect 1 to get all of the story to get into Mass Effect 2. How are we handling players that are, oh, hey, I didn't play Season of the End, you're just fucked?
Nope. Specifically, you will sit around the fire and listen to people regale you tales of
Is that a
when they
cutscene
were.
that's gonna be in the
that's
game,
what
or-
that's what Destiny wants. That's what
But
Bungie wants.
Bungie
That's
is like.
never going to happen, though.
Well, no. It's that you're playing and you're like, man, like what is this? And then other players are like, oh, I remember I was here when this happened.
Which
This is what.
No, but hold on. What's
It's
going
such
to
a good
happen,
concept,
again,
but-
it is a good concept. What's going to happen is, oh, wow, this portal's so cool. Like, what is this? Get the fuck out of here, noob. Like, this fucking game's
I
not
was
for
gonna
you.
say, like the people that require what was it, 10 run-throughs of the raid before they let you part of the group.
Yeah.
That's reality. Like that's what it is. It's like,
Again,
oh, you weren't
great
there.
concept.
Bye bye.
I-
Like get out of my fire.
Don't fault Bungie for it. It is a brilliant
But it's one of
concept.
those where,
But
like,
the
ne-
problem
next
is you have to know
season-
your player base.
next
They're
season-
too toxic for that.
Next season,
Okay.
that portal will no longer be there.
Then who's sitting around the fire talking about it?
No, what he's talking about is if you get in, you're like, I don't understand what's going on, and someone all of a sudden like just deep tones and kind of the night sky looms overhead across the visor, and he goes, I remember the battle of the moon, and then regales the wondrous story
Which
of
again,
you
cool concept,
storming
but
the
never
Red
going to
Keep.
happen.
I
though.
agree. It's kind of like Division with the whole Dark Zone. The Dark Zone where you can choose to either help one another or you can
fuck each other.
double cross one another and take everything you want, whatever. When all it happened is it just turned out everyone just fucking double crossed each other because
Yeah.
everyone's greedy.
That's the fun thing to do.
It's a fun thing to do. So like great
Yeah,
concept.
I didn't.
So the whole
The
point.
other thing I want to say though, real quick, is so, and again, I know that they're changing this.
Yes.
The problem is you cannot change what you've already put out. They're not going to go back and be like, okay, let's re-release Destiny 1 like we're doing Shadowkeep. So what I don't understand, again, this video might fix that for me, but not everyone necessarily A, has access to this video, or B, this is something that someone else had to put together to make happen. But go back through and play Destiny 1, unless you're sitting there reading every lore book, and that takes hours and hours and days of research and learning and reading and trying to figure out who people are, then honestly, playing Destiny 1 mission to mission to mission to mission to mission, none of it made sense. It was, oh, okay, we got to go stop Rasputin. We gotta stop him. Like
He
blah,
does
blah.
have a point.
And then you go through, and then
that
the
was
next
the very
mission,
first one.
but then you stop him, and then the next mission you go up, and it's like, okay, we stopped that, but how is that going to play into the next thing? Oh, hey, we heard about this colony over here, this Vex over here doing this other thing. We should go and stop them. Oh, okay, so it's about the Vex. Okay, so we're going to stop that and we do that. Okay, the next story. Oh, yeah, so now we've got some, taken over, and like it wasn't not taken yet, but it was just I need them to piece all of those things together for me.
It
And
needs
again,
to be
maybe this may be a
bridged
fault
more.
of me not understanding, but it just very much seems like here's a jumble of pieces. Figure it out, fucker. Whereas like Halo, which was a Bungie game,
Which was a very, very, very linear story-based game.
correct, and I understand
Oh,
that,
wow.
and I know that's not what this
Story-based.
is. I'm just using it as another story example from what Bungie did. Bungie was able to tell me, okay, here's this, and here's Master Chief's story. We're gonna walk you through, and then he's gonna find out about what the Flood is, and then he's gonna find out that Halo was created to go through and be a weapon to destroy all life on all of the universe, to go through, and then there's no more food for the Flood, and the Flood will die out. And it shows you all of that history, as opposed to saying, well, here's a book that tells you like, oh, that's who that guy was.
And to be fair, a lot of what Destiny's doing is very common MMO practice, right? The whole time release stuff, like World of
Which is
Warcraft
what an
did a lot.
They
MMO
want-
is.
they wanna
That's
keep
what they're
playing.
trying to
But-
keep it being.
which
again
is a great
good,
idea,
yes.
and I love Destiny. But like World of Warcraft still had its own way and its own expanse to try and lead you through the story more. Whereas, like, not saying that the Black Garden has nothing to do with the Shadowkeep story, but where in the world did the Vex come into play when we were fighting nightmares? It's just too many different.
Haven't got to
Like,
that
it's
yet.
two different things. Like, there's no connection.
It's this big.
So
like,
what I'm
fill up
asking
the
for,
Vex, fill up the
I
Vex,
want
and
the
then they
like you're
bigger.
right. If what you're talking about, the whole cutscene and everything, it's a culmination of 5 years, whatever. What's the next part that we're gonna see? It probably won't be until the season of Redacted. There won't be another cutscene, or there won't be another mission.
I think the next season is going to be called Season of the Dawn.
Okay.
Because in the vidoc right before the launch, it showed Luke Smith and the other the game director, and then it showed the other executive producer, and they were standing in a conference room in front of a whiteboard, and it had Season of Opulence, Season of the Undying, and it was like with a bunch of columns, like what they were going to focus on, and then it had season 9, 10, 11, and it had name underneath it, and I saw Dawn, and then the other one was just the other two were too out of focus to see, but it said Dawn.
is literally the secretary that was helping them go through and piece everything together.
Probably,
It just turns out she's just that good.
probably.
But no,
It's not actually the season of Dawn; it's the season of Dawn. Dawn is coming back.
she's
Like-
just out of nowhere. She just walks out of the moon. Moon's haunted. But I'm with you. To go back all the way back to the original, I don't think that is. It just clearly must not have hit me in the same way it hit you. You know a lot more of the lore than I do. I watched that whole video. I understand a lot of lore. To me personally, the Hive are such cool creatures, and there is a lot of lore and everything about them. But it's all unless you do those exotic quests or unless you read the lore. To me, originally, Destiny 1's a great example. The Hive were just aliens that I shot in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vex were cool robots. They went a little more into Vex. The whole concept of Vex could use time as a conflux and everything. Cool idea. Fallen, they have clans. They have shotguns that shoot fire, which is pretty cool. It's not enough. I need more salt. On
Especially
top of
for
my
being somewhere
story.
where, I mean, it's not like the other thing is this isn't a game where it's, they've clearly come up with this. They've clearly done the work in the world building because you know it.
I mean,
Why
I would
not
love to do
show
a
it?
tabletop
Why not use it? Why
RPG
not
of
do it?
Destiny,
Yeah.
because there is that much lore and that much world building.
I just don't feel like they're using any of it.
They're using
And again,
some of it.
I'm specifically referring to pre-Shadowkeep. Again, understand, like you said, pin in it. I will come back to this after Shadowkeep.
But to be fair, Forsaken is just a good argument. Like all the stuff that happens in that first mission, and then you go through and every bounty after that, working with the spider to get closer to Cade's killer, to ultimately, accumulate in the finding of Uldren Sov and the Riven and everything. That was fantastically well done. That was storytelling that. Yes, they were just bounties, but I understood why I was doing these bounties. I don't know why I'm going to Ikora and bringing her these little tiny green motes.
My only other
To
question
build
here,
the portal.
So here's the thing. So
The portal to where?
the
We
focus.
don't know yet. Nobody knows
The
yet.
focus.
Like Ikora doesn't.
Portal's the Black Garden.
Oh, okay.
the Black Garden.
So Ikora's building a portal to the Black Garden.
We've
Okay,
already been there.
so cycle it
Use
back.
the old portal.
Yeah.
You get to the moon to find Eris.
Yeah.
Okay, you go in and you do your first couple quests. You get the cryptoglyph,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, and then
Speaking of which, mine's upstairs. You should check it out. It's pretty cool.
Which really, I hate
show
to
me
say about that too. They seem like that was going to be a big focus of the story.
It's
and
not.
yeah, that
It's
was
not.
kind of underwhelming.
yeah, I agree. But then you have to create the
Trust
purpose
me,
of
it's
the
just a random thing that gives you guns, and the guns aren't even that great.
the purpose of the
just
story
focus
is
and
going
stay
around
away,
and going around and after you get the cryptoglyph is empowering completing killing nightmares, going out and doing story missions to kill the Nightmare of Fogoth, the Nightmare of Crota, the Nightmare of Oryx, the Nightmare of Syrinx, the Nightmare of
Which,
all these.
the Nightmare
On Elm
Fogoth fight.
Street
Fucking sucks.
before
What,
Christmas.
really? I
Well,
thought
it's-
I
no.
thought it was a good throwback.
It's a fun fight, but it's still a throwback to a fight that used to
What
suck.
are these nightmares? Is it like
Yeah.
the ghost of Crota, or
Yes.
is the nightmare of Crota a servant of Crota?
No, it's a nightmare.
It is
it's
a ghost
it's a memory.
of Crota. It is, yeah, it's a memory. It is a nightmare
But
of Crota.
you're the reason you're doing this is because you need
It's so much easier.
those essences
Yeah.
to empower your gear so that you can get into Twist.
Yeah,
That way you can figure out what its purpose is.
no, I get that.
I
then
got it.
you get inside of it and you have the cutscene. Okay? Now we're at the point where we have to take time to build something so that we can figure out. I can't really say much more.
I do have one question that I just want a yes or a no to. I don't want an explanation. I want a yes or a no. At the end of Forsaken, when the meatball came through the portal,
Yes.
sorry, when the meatball came through with tentacles, does that ever get explained what the fuck
Yeah,
that was all about?
In the raid.
7.
Yes, it does.
7.
It does get explained.
So,
Okay.
but so
I'm not listening to him anymore.
see what I'm
gonna listen to you.
see what I'm saying though. With Forsaken, it accumulated and ended. It answered everything with the raid. And I've seen the raid thanks to this video. I've seen only the boss of the raid. The boss is so cool. Just in a simple period. Like it's just fucking cool.
Riven.
That is another
Yes.
thing I will say though. Also, because I do want to actually give credit where credit's due to Bungie, because I'm about to actually discredit almost everything I've said this entire podcast.
Here we go.
So
We finally reached it, ladies and gentlemen. Full circle.
no, with that whole thing though. So this is a game where it is okay. Yeah, I know it's not designed to play by yourself. It is not designed for that. But Bungie, Destiny 1, I soloed that game. We played a few missions together, but I mostly played that game solo.
And never touch a single raid or anything like that.
That's what I'm getting to.
Oh,
So it was, here's all of this story. We're going to give you all of this story. We're going to give it all to you, and here's something you can play by yourself and learn. We're not going to tell you what the fuck happens at the end, because you need to go find 5 other friends that have this game.
Well, so here's the thing. The
There's
raid,
no, like at the time, I don't know if there is now. There was no matchmaking for the raids.
right?
Back then.
No, there's
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 still
still
not.
not?
Still not.
So unless I find 5 people that can run me through this
well,
raid,
you can now. They made that a lot easier. You just have to use third party, like Discord. Discord has a
But that's what I'm
whole.
saying is that wasn't Bungie. Bungie didn't do that.
They have access to the
Where's your,
Warmind
open
IO
up your,
or whatever,
open up your Destiny 2 companion app.
because it does have a look for group.
A sidebar.
Go on.
Why doesn't
What was it?
Ikora and Erisborn just get
LFG.
the help of
So
Luigi
you
with
wanna
his proton pack
These are,
to
these are
just
keep
like
the moon
random-
from being haunted?
You go up here and you hit
That's why they're building the portal. It's green, right?
You're
To summon Luigi.
No, there's somebody
Guigi.
Guigi. Okay, well,
Look into the lore.
That's a dual package. Okay.
God Lord Luke, or God
Well,
Emperor
dual
Luke.
package.
Shows you all
Dual
the people in
package
it, and you
because
just join
it's
the fire team.
co-op. Because this game
So
is
it
a
has LFG.
multi-changing like MMO. Like
Got it.
But
So you just used it. Is this in the actual
Ironically,
game, or do I need to use
did
the
you
app?
ever play?
Yeah.
Did you ever
Okay.
play Vaulted Glass?
But
No.
I'm a part of. There's
Well,
a
yeah,
Discord server.
Wait, that's not the Crota raid. Never mind.
No.
See, that's another thing, and I'm
Here.
not trying to be.
I don't
like,
remember.
they
I think I did a
explain
little bit
this.
of it. I can't
It's
remember.
just funny because Vaulted
Like
Glass
that
has
needs
no
that
real
should explain that in the
story
game.
in it.
Which one?
I don't know why
The looking
you
for
do
group.
it.
Oh,
it
it
was
was
just
just like
a
that should
really
be in the game.
well
Like,
raid.
oh, need
what I
help
heard.
running Leviathan? Go through and
The
look
only
in
raid
the
I've
app,
ever
we can help
Completed
This
in full
I didn't even know
was
this
the
thing.
This
Oryx.
LFG server
Was LFG.
Oryx
Look
or
for
whatever?
group. Duh, I
Oryx.
just
I
fucking
never
said that.
has
Okay.
all of these,
That
and
one's
so
cool.
like Guardian.
I did that one on hard. That was the
All these people
that
who are
was
looking
hard.
for groups. There's 95,000 members on this LFG server, all for PC.
Gotcha. But then how do you join them? Like this, I can see how you can join.
So
it 'cause
you
hit the
literally
button.
go in here, you group up, you join a voice channel on this Discord,
Log
and then
horizon.
like how we talk
So
on
I have
Discord.
to log
We
horizon.
should talk online.
It's what
that's the only way.
it's before.
So
SAO.
I understand. I
Before
understand
SAO
your
was SAO.
concept with soloing the
Very
game and
similar
all that,
concept.
but
My issue is I have social
With the world
anxiety.
building
Like, I
better.
literally have had meltdown
sense.
panic attacks.
No,
I
Because
I've
I
done the
found out
raids.
like
What are they
I was
talking
on
about?
group chat and somebody was like, "Hey man,
LFG,
like how you
fighting
doing?
people.
Like you wanna go and do it?" And
How
I
do you
like
do it?
freaked out. Like
So I'm the same way. I don't like when I play games with people that aren't you guys. I don't talk. I'll
Yeah.
join the group and be like,
I've made so many
Hi.
friends from just being nice and say like, "Man, that was a really good shot," and they're like, "Thanks, friend request."
but I'll join these groups and I'll be like, hey guys, don't really like to talk a lot. I will if I absolutely have to, but I don't expect a lot out of me. Just tell me what weapons I need to bring. My name is Corn Taco. Explicitly explain what I need to do during the fight. Correct me if I do something wrong. We'll have a great time. And that's all I say. And then I mute my microphone and I don't speak another word the entire raid until the very end when we kill the boss. And I'm like, thanks guys, bye.
People.
But literally that
Strangers.
when I did Last
Stranger danger.
Wish, I literally did not. I joined the group. Was like, hey guys, are there any weapons I need to bring? And they were like, yeah, you really need to bring a shotgun with this and a grenade launcher with this. And I was like, okay. And then I joined on their fire team and did not speak a word the entire raid until the very end when we killed Riven. And they were like, thanks for coming, guys. And I was like, okay, bye.
You know what I think really fucking ruined this for me though?
Hmm.
Let's go back about 8 years. I tried to play World of Warcraft. So Nick's sitting here and is like, you know what? I'm gonna help you play World of Warcraft. You're level 15 now. 15 to do dungeons?
yes.
We can do dungeons. Early level dungeons for players that don't know how to play the game, and we're gonna help teach players how to play the game.
That was a
And I
molten
had
core
like
one, right?
4 people screaming at me because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, I'm fucking learning, people. And like, I had people that were like, this fucking asshole kid needs to fucking stop doing it. And like, it got to the point where Nick had to jump into chat to defend me because I was getting attacked by everyone. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I finally turned off the chat because I was like, I don't know what's happening. Everyone's mad at me. So I'm going to just keep going.
I will never forget watching Skylar run a raid or run a dungeon, and someone was yelling at him because he wasn't, or the tank was yelling at him because he wasn't healing fast enough. And Skylar's immediate response was, "Stop running. Just let me heal you for 1 second." And the guy said no, and Skylar said, "Okay," and let him run in and die. And then the rest of the party wiped. This kid was just like, "Fuck you," and just immediately quit. And like, I just sat there and watched. I was like, "Is this really what like dungeoning is like?" He's like, "Yeah."
That's why I was like, it's so toxic. And I'm specifically referring to World of Warcraft right now.
Well, yeah, that's
Destiny seems to have a very, very positive
I was gonna say
fan base with a
most times
few
it's pretty
toxic
open.
people thrown in there.
Oddly enough,
Great.
I think the least toxic community I've ever seen,
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76, which is really weird because that was the one I was expecting to be the most fucking toxic anywhere.
I think the big thing with that was it was so toxic from the
Beta?
people talked about the game so toxically that the few people that did like the game were like, shit, we gotta like help other people out because
So-
no one's already playing this anyway.
You ready to play Fallout 4 online next
I
month?
mean, there's a burden
What?
of knowledge when you're going
Yeah.
into a dungeon.
Fallout 4 online. You know it's going to be Fallout with NPCs. You know,
Because
online
they're adding NPCs
because
to
they're
Fallout
yeah
76.
because they're having
Are
the
they really?
Wastelander update.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to be Fallout.
I thought
now.
this was already out, is it not?
No,
So-
it's next month.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
If you just walked into a basketball court and just punted the ball, people wouldn't be too happy with you.
That, I
Hey,
mean,
so hold on. I need people to explain what this is real quick. They're changing Iron Banner starting tomorrow.
Huh?
No, Iron Banner's first 2 days have been an intentional showcase of the newest Crucible
Remember the
maps
maps
in
where
Destiny
they
2.
said-
Yeah.
Starting on Thursday, the rest of the week will feature a varying
Hey,
mix of both new and
I do
classic
have a
maps.
quick.
They need to not word it as Destiny 2's current Iron Banner event is changing starting tomorrow.
So,
That's, yeah, I know. Fucking.
so I have a do. I do have a quick question for the
I
quest
know when I'm mad.
during Iron Banner.
I wish
No.
I could unclick.
I heard that there's a glitch for the last step.
Yes,
is.
I want to tell this story. I want to fucking tell this story. So
Go on.
I got home and was like, I texted all of them and was like, I want to figure out how to do Iron Banner.
That means
I like
they're gonna
the
do
armor
it
set.
a hot fix tomorrow. I'll have to get it with a fucking grenade launcher, and I'm gonna kill myself.
No. It's supposed to be
that's
submachine gun.
That's the mistake.
Oh,
It says text
it's-
for super kills. Shows grenade launcher, but you need
No, it doesn't even say. I read the thing. It doesn't even say super kills.
Oh,
they
really?
At least changed that.
They must
part.
have changed that.
It literally said like get kills with a grenade launcher.
yeah.
And showed a grenade launcher. I went through 3 games, and that was like the first game I got no kills because I was like I was using a shitty. I was
He was
using
literally just using the Iron Banner secondary, like the
Or
energy
wing-
weapon
or Wings
grenade
Hawk.
launcher.
Yeah.
And he got 0 kills the entire. He was just running around with that and couldn't kill anybody.
2 problems are when I use a grenade launcher, all my brain just shuts off, and I'm used to just fucking just shoot as many grenades as you can. It literally only has a clip of 1, so yeah, I would shoot once, and then it would like ricochet off a wall, fly up in the air, and explode, hurting no one. Finally got that figured out, and got 2 kills on the second game. Got into it, and it said 0% done with, and I was like, what the fuck? Or 0 out of 10. I was like, what the fuck? So then I went through the second game, the third game, got 2 more kills. What the fuck? Nothing's happening. And I was like, guys, seriously, this fucking thing's not moving. And then Tyler was like, oh yeah, I think I saw something on that. Try an SMG. Had it in the next game.
Yeah, that's the guy
I
at
was
work
so
told me. He was
pissed.
just like, it says grenade launchers. Just use Recluse. I got in a single match.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding? I want him to like keep that. I don't want it to hotfix.
The
No,
worst thing
so
that pissed
it's
me off
supposed
though
to
on
be
top of it is the fact of I was going through and playing. So I was like, I'm not going to bed until I get this done. I had to be at work at 7, meaning I was up at 6 this morning. It was like 2:30 last night, and I was like, oh, all I've got to do is get 10 grenade launcher kills. That'll be easy.
4
So
matches
3
later.
games, I was like, what the fuck? This isn't working. Oh, it's
I'll tell
SMG.
you,
So I had to do a
Those
4th match.
matches take longer than it seems.
They
too.
do. And then on top of all of that, I got done and I was like, sweet. So I have my armor set and I absolutely fucking love it. But I got all of that done. I was like, awesome. I have all of this. I'm so excited. Cool. Let me look at my bounties. My last bounty was 99% complete and it was just kill guardians. So I was like, well, I guess I have to play another fucking match. So I went back in. Yeah, I didn't get to bed until like 3:30.
I really want to play,
So
but
it's so good.
so real quick, because I feel like we should start wrapping up here.
I-
I
soon.
was gonna say we're
need-
at
I
hour
need
and
to
58
scoot.
minutes.
I need to
So nobody else is getting Red Dead.
I am.
I said yeah.
Okay, you are
I'm not.
too?
I might not be getting it like day one.
I just
but, like,
wanna.
will be
I
getting
wanna
it, like-
do a machinima. I've always in my life
Yeah.
always
We've
wanted to
talked
do
about doing that
machinima.
for Grand Theft Auto 5
And
for so long.
yeah, and I feel like Red Dead is the perfect setting to do our own goofy ass machinima.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm 100% down. On top of that, apparently the gangs is really cool.
Right.
How much is it? 15
What?
gangs. So you have to pay for a gang.
Oh,
Do you?
Gang is premium is DLC or
Are you sure?
what do you call that? In-app purchase.
Because I know they're coming.
Microtransaction. That's the word. Fuck.
They're
Finally got
coming
to it.
with. It's coming with a few extra things on PC.
Okay. Well, I know currently on Xbox, because my manager went through and made a gang. It's like $15,
Do you
and
think the
then you
gang
can
in New
have.
York was already taken? 'Cause-
I don't know, but the Apple Dumpling gang was taken.
Can we be the gang of sweet rolls
We can be.
or adventurers who took an arrow?
Did
to
anybody
the-
else want to kill that fucker for taking your sweet roll? I
You
was
need me to
not
move?
nice to
No,
that
it's
guy.
okay.
All right.
But anyway,
Yeah, let's start wrapping her up because I got to be work in the morning.
So do I.
I really want to stay up tonight and play more Destiny, but at the same time, I'm also so fucking tired.
You
We have
know,
a big day ahead of
As
us tomorrow.
one final little thing, I'm so glad it took almost 23 episodes of this podcast to get you to finally start playing Destiny with us.
I know.
It just wore you
Which,
down.
you know
That's
what's
all we had to
insane?
do is just wear you down, and we knew it.
The best part
I
was
don't
when
know,
he
I-
told me the other day, he's like, man, I used to fucking hate on this game.
With
And then I realized that when you have people to play with, this shit's fucking fun.
in all due respect,
I turned it off.
well, I just didn't know if I need to be quiet. In all fairness, on that,
Why are you getting quiet?
I'm trying to make sure you can hear.
You can.
In all fairness, no. When playing through Destiny 1, I had Destiny 1 5 days before it came out.
wait for Red Dead Redemption
I think
5
it was 5
to
days
do the
before it came
machine
out.
on a custom
Because
server instead
for
of an
pre-order,
official.
they Bungie went through and
That
gave
wouldn't be a
you
bad idea.
early access to it. So I went through. I think it was
put it
5 days. Anyway, long story short, had it, played it off from the beginning. I liked the game, but it was one of those like by the time I got to Destiny 2, I was like, I'm just not seeing what you guys are seeing, and I'm happy that I am now. Also, I want to give Tyler props for listening to us bitch and not get mad.
No, we just have different views.
Which I
mean,
agree, but I
and
felt
that's the thing.
bad because like,
I'm gonna
at the
have to
same
go
time,
back
like,
to
he
the
is a
floor
straight
thing
man,
and watch about what you're talking about, or if you want to link me exactly what you're talking
I'll
about.
have to find it. But
And
there's a timestamp where they explain it.
Because the way you're talking about, it sounds like that light bulb hasn't gone off in my head.
Uh-huh.
But I still want a continuation of that anyway. Because it ended and I was like, that's really fucking cool. I want to know where this is going. And so far, all I've gotten is Ikora standing there in a normal thing
What
with
does
a
that
bald
mean?
ass head going,
Solstice armor
please bring
ornaments.
me moats.
Those are
Is
the
that that thing that's coming?
no. So like you can make.
When do you think
when
5M
you
would
said
come
you can
out,
make
though,
stuff
Led?
look like the Solstice armor. That's
Yeah.
what it is. The
Well,
ornaments.
how do I get this thing to light up?
Huh?
Like, how do I get that?
So when you have the Solstice armor equipped,
What is that?
the armor for the
That I was talking about this morning?
yes.
Oh, okay. I thought this was a new armor set.
No.
Okay.
Solstice armor was at the end of last season. Did you get the Solstice armor?
I deconstructed it.
Did you get the purples?
Yes.
You got the purples.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you earlier.
Okay.
That I
So-
can
so
go in
you-
and change whatever I'm wearing right now to look like Solstice
Yes.
something.
Then you can go down to appearance and then add the glows to it.
But I didn't do anything.
He probably didn't buy the glows.
Yeah, if you didn't buy the glows.
So do they work like shaders or something?
No. So
I know they're not
I didn't
shaders.
read it.
My
Give me a
point
sec.
is it something like that I have to have bought to equip to it, like a mod
yes,
or something?
and it has its own extra
Can we wrap
thing.
up so that I can
yes,
scoot?
yes. All right.
We can because this is a conversation we can have outside the podcast.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, till next
Just a
time.
second.
Bye, everybody. Nick,
Tyler,
Joe.
Shannon,
Corey?
Dan, down.
bye.